nigga high as a motherfucker, by the way. Let me go fast forward. I am the nigga, young dog. This high ass nigga.
They don't dance no more. It's all about the lean. Back in the day, crack was jumping on the scene. Now they slumped on the sidewalk. Can't talk. Golden era faded, but we still feel the rock. They used to be kings, now they lost in the scheme. Popping them bottles, throwing money, living dreams. Now they zoned out and mumbling, fumbling. No rhythm in the city, the whole shit crumbling. They used to rock the house, they was riding through the streets. Remember there was dancing, sliding to the beat. Now it's poison in their veins, ain't no pulse on the street. Guess it's over now, they accepted defeat. Back in the day, the rock had them wild and free. Different story now, they got no energy. The new drugs got them slow with the hit unload. Out close and they don't dance no more. Rock used to be jumping, top shit they was on. Now it's lights out, guess the thrill is gone.
I am the nigga, young dog. I bring it to you rough, rockin' and raw, nigga.
They don't dance no more, it's all about the codeine. Back in the day, they was rocking on the scene. Even dancing in the rain. Now they nodding off. Shit just don't hit the same.
I am that nigga, young dog. What's up, Master Kim? Master Kim, man, you know, we had a great dinner the other day, man. What a great dinner. Master Kim and I, we went out to St. Anselm. For those of you that don't remember St. Anselm, I profiled it on the stream, St. Anselm, DC, NOMA. It's originally out of New York City, so we went there, but it's a kind of a transplant restaurant. Many restaurants have opened up satellite restaurants here in DC, and St. Anselm is one of them that has moved from, or there's opened up a second location. So this is St. Anselm, where Master Kim and I went the other night. Man, we drank, well, I drank, and Master Kim didn't do too much drinking. He had to drive, but we drank a good bit and had some very good food. I think I had the steak. Master Kim, I think he had the chicken with the mumbo sauce or something, right? Chicken with the mumbo sauce, yeah. So, what was it? Mashed potatoes and mushrooms. Oh man, it was a hell of a meal, I say. And then we went to Van Leeuwen. Van Leeuwen is the ice cream place. One of my favorite ice cream places. It was like right there. The level of restaurants in that area that used to once be. You know what's so crazy? I was telling Master Kim this. This is the ice cream place we went after going to NOMA. So I was telling Master Kim, I said, Master Kim, you know who used to live around here? Right? And he said, who? I said, Rayful Evans. He said, who is Rayful Evans? And for those of you that don't know Rayful Evans, I think he's dead now. But he lived on Orleans Place, Northeast DC. And I didn't even have to look this up. Again, this is right where Master Kim and I went and had dinner. So you can see that the area has changed quite a bit. Orleans Place, Northeast, and Master Kim and I, we were in Northeast, and nearby Morton Place, Northeast, in Northeast Washington, D.C., served as the open-air drug market headquarters, known locally as the Strip, for 1980s cocaine kingpin Rayful Evans III. I think they made movies about this black. But he was definitely a heralded hero here in Washington, D.C. He threw parties and stuff like that. The blacks loved him, even though he sold cocaine to his own people, killed people, all that stuff. They loved him. Operating near Bladensburg Road, and his family based around 4th and M Street, Master Kim. Now, where were we? Let's see. Where is St. Anselm? St. Anselm address, DC NOMA address. And so you'll see that it said 5th Street. You see it on the screen right there. NOMA is located on 5th Street Northeast, and Rayful Evans was doing his due back in the 80s on 4th and M Street Northeast. So it's very, very close. But the reason why I know so intimately about this area is the lady that says, John Galt, he still loves black women. She used to live on Orleans Place after Rayful Evans. She was a school teacher here in the DC, I think Washington, DC. She parlayed that school teaching job into a house on Orleans Place. This was before the St. Anselm and all of that came to DC. All that area was warehouses and shit like that, drug addict areas, barren. And so she bought this house on this teacher program. So she got it for like a little bit of nothing. I mean, maybe it was under $100,000. And the white people came in and they rebuilt this area where Master Kim and I went and had dinner in St. Anselm. That's here. And so you ask yourself, well, why the hell didn't more blacks come in and buy these houses like this woman did? And there is a reason why. This black woman, and she's not a big woman, she took a chance and went and bought a house on Orleans Place, the former neighborhood of Rayful Edmonds, the former street. I'm sorry. She lived on his street, on his block, his former block. Northeast DC, Orleans Place, I think that was the street, Orleans Street. And so Master Kim and I, 20 years later, we had dinner there. And so what changed? It was the white people that came in and they were orderly, high trust people. Which leads me to the video that many of you may have seen. It was JP up on the CT's panel. And he was talking about his perspective as a black landlord, as a black tenant, I'm sorry. And Game recognized Game. Like, I wouldn't expect him to say anything different because that would be radically different from what I've seen over the last 25 years or so as a landlord. So JP was very, very honest. He's very, very honest about the nature of blacks. Not all. But when he talks about the dollar figures and the amount of damage that he can do, I don't have time, or many people do not have time for a distinction. You're all like that, blacks. You have to live with it. You're going to have to live with the JPs. You can't just laugh and giggle at them on YouTube and assume that there are no consequences in the real world. That's not how it works. And so JP is going to give you the truth about why you black when you send your application in for a job, or you send your application in for an apartment and you never hear back, or they deny your black ass. This stream today will lay it all out for you. And for you dim-witted blacks, even some of you dim-witted blacks, I think you're going to get this. I think you're going to get this. Let's go. Here's JP. And he's talking about the black mentality. This is actually part 2. There's a part 1 that I published at the video. We may cover some of that.
So if they're not gonna live in the hood, the people, that's why before I blame John. And the reason why I blame John is when he bought that property, he understood where these property was at. Who gonna be the people that's gonna be renting these places? They not gonna be outstanding. They in the ghetto. If they was so outstanding and upkeep people, they won't be there neither.
JP is saying what I've been saying all along. The upstanding blacks, for what they are worth, for what they're worth, the upstanding blacks, really he's just talking about people with money. They may not be upstanding. A lot of these blacks with money aren't necessarily upstanding. And so he's saying the upstanding blacks, the people with money, get the hell away from the ghetto. Okay, well, somebody still got to rent to them. The poor blacks, and the majority of blacks in DC are poor. And short of them living outside, somebody's going to rent to them. Or would JP rather they live outside? JP doesn't live outside because he has a government voucher. See, he has an advantage over you working class blacks. A lot of landlords who take JP, he's like a military veteran or something. He has a government behind him. But you working class blacks, where the landlord has to depend on your black ass to get up out of bed in the morning and go to work every day and not argue with your coworkers or your boss and get fired. Or maybe you work at some bullshit black restaurant where no one is showing up for dinner. I profiled all that, right? You remember me sitting in front of that black restaurant and said, where are the customers? Where are all the customers? Friday night, no blacks showing up. People walking up and down the street, looking right past the black restaurant. So again, when you rent to the blacks, and then they hit skid row as they always do. They hit the proverbial bump in the road. How do they respond to adversity becomes a question, because now you're dealing with someone who's been put into an adverse situation primarily because of his own doing. And how does he respond?
So John's fault is he buying these houses in the areas that where the Negroes gonna live at. And John,
you listen to what he's saying. He's saying John is buying houses where blacks live to invest in. Is he calling for disinvestment? Black flight? Right? You want me to flee here? What about all the other blacks that have chosen to live here for whatever reason? Some of these people pay more than I paid to live here. Should they flee too? Because of the bullshit they see?
He's very familiar with Negroes.
That's
so
right.
I don't know. John is not shocked that he's not getting paid his money.
No.
Or he
Master Kim has expressed that. He said, John, you never seen upset or frustrated about the blacks not paying you? And JP is saying the same thing. JP is giving the blacks, he's removing the scales from their eyes. You don't have to keep lying anymore, blacks. JP is up here telling you the truth about who you really are and why no one wants to rent to you. Why we have to pass all kind of laws, discrimination laws, to twist people's arms to rent to you. This is why. He's going to go into shocking detail as to why no one will want to rent to blacks. He's just one, you may say. He says all of us. I've shown you multiple. Show me some good blacks. For you blacks to say it ain't all of us, well, show me the good ones. Show me the good ones that get behind on their rent and just walk out the door. They call the landlord ahead of time and say, Mr. Landlord, I'm not going to have the money, so I'm leaving. I'm going to sleep on the street. Those blacks don't exist by and large.
He having difficulties collecting his money. That's his fault for buying. If I go buy a property, and I'm either going to choose a property that's in the hood or in a white neighborhood.
Why white neighborhood? JP's going to go into why white neighborhood. When he says this, it's going to be an indictment of you blacks. All you blacks that sit up here and listen to him, this is what he thinks about you. This is live. This is what he thinks about you blacks.
Neighborhood, you can damn near count your money every month. Sometimes they pay 6 months ahead, 3 months ahead.
He said, white people, future time oriented. They know they want to live somewhere today, tomorrow, and 6 weeks from now, 6 months from now. So he said they may pay their rent ahead of time.
Choose a property that's in the hood or in a white neighborhood. White neighborhood, you can damn near count your money every month. Sometimes they pay 6 months ahead, 3 months ahead. Why would you go buy a property in the ghetto? You know we finesse. You know our credit score fucked up. You know we.
That's right. That's why I don't even check credit. I know the black's credit messed up. Hell, they got low future time orientation. How could some people like that have good credit? You have to just hope that they're moral, have some morals. And JP is saying most of us not. You know we finessing. That's true. You know they finessing. Or outright stealing and robbing and killing. There was a little girl killed up the street from me the other day. And I read it, and I said, oh, well, she probably was into something. Who cares? Probably some gangster-ass black woman, child, engaged in criminality. She was young. Some stupid-ass black name told her mama had already doomed her from birth with one of these goofy-ass black names. And so I felt nothing. And that's the other day, CT was saying, damn, that baby spoke to you and you didn't even speak back to it. I said, I didn't even see it as a baby. Raised up by these low moral people. They're like wolves, baby wolf. And so JP here is really telling some ugly truth about the blacks. All the blacks that get up and you know, hail him and praise him, like Keon was praising JP. And all the other blacks that invite him to the panels and things like that, he should tell these blacks because he's speaking about them. He's going to go and say, most of you blacks ain't paying your rent. He says it. And it's true. This is what I've been saying.
Why would you go buy a property in the ghetto? You know we finessing. You know our credit score fucked up. You know we running the extension cord from the neighbor house three houses down.
We know it.
So you already know all of
these things.
So yeah, John would have pissed me off too if he was my landlord. You popping up for a maintenance, then you asking for some money.
Now, see, JP doesn't know the full story. We're not even going to fill in the backstory. We're just going to let it play because I want you to hear his mentality. This is the average black man's mentality. Trust me on that.
And you know damn well I don't got it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, I would have probably had to kick John ass about that piece. Even though, yeah, that's his house. But who want to hear that? And then the man was right. You got to wait 30 days to evict me. You can't come up here and
Yeah, I got to interrupt you again. Like, where did he get 30 days from? Did that come from his heart? His mind? His morals? He got that from the government. These niggas is like puppets to the government. If the government told him 300 days, he said, well, you got to wait 300 days. A year. You got to wait 3 years, whatever the government tells them to do. And they can't learn much in school, but damn if they can't learn welfare and domestic violence and landlord-tenant courts as it benefits them. See, this is the thing. You got a low IQ group of people that can't learn much of productive use. And we're educating them. And what do they turn around and use it for? Destructive. This is where blacks are. This is all they got. JP is telling you. And JP he's personable. So he can explain this probably better than some of these other half-wit blacks that agree with him. That's the beauty of JP, is that he can explain this to you blacks better than most of these other blacks can. He's painting with broad brushes. And Keon, the black up there, did not disagree not one time.
Asking me for no money. If you're gonna evict me, you gotta take me to court. Sometimes I could finesse the eviction court for at least 3-4 months.
These blacks know. They grew up. This is the legacy that's passed on from the mammies to the children. How to finesse the welfare system, things like that. This is what blacks pass on. This is their inheritance. The ghetto inheritance right here, how to finesse, fill out food stamp and welfare and SNAP forms and all that kind of stuff. This is what they know how to do. This is what they pass down to their children. And University, he's a national treasure. He is a national treasure because most of these blacks will not be honest. I talked to Lisa yesterday. I said, do you know anyone that ever had their utilities cut off? She said, no. I said, really? Nobody? Your whole life, you never knew anybody had their utilities cut off? So she's naive to blacks. She's naive. JP is telling her, hey, most of these blacks behind on all their utilities, going to the government to help them pay them.
They give me enough time.
I've known blacks that get behind on their utilities on purpose so that they can go to the government. You have to take a disconnect notice down and say, hey, I'm behind. Can you help me pay my gas, water bill? That's what they do.
To tear up that whole house and make you pay for it.
Uh-huh.
So I think this was on John, and John, I'm saying, John, you my dog, but at the end of the day, you on the opposite end of me when it comes to, I'm typically going to be the tenant. You're going to be the landlord.
Now, I want to explain to you what he's saying. And I'm going to boil it down like this. Blacks in almost any interaction is antagonistic. Look how they behave with the corner store people. Throwing the money at them, stealing out of there, blah, blah, blah. It's an antagonistic relationship. There is no, hey, man, I'm glad this gas station is in my community. So, I'm going to be honest and kind with the shop owner because I'm not going to open up the store. Same for the grocery store. As I told you, around the corner from my house, $500,000 a year is stolen from the grocery store. $500,000. The blacks who are doing this have no care or concern about the elderly people, the people with very little money who depend on that grocery store. They're just going in there stealing. They only care about themselves. That's blacks. That's blacks for you. And JP is really just expressing it when most of you blacks either too dumb to express it or you want to act like it doesn't exist. One of the two. But last night, I'm going to tell you some things that are going to get you there. Lisa finally started to see some things yesterday. She finally started to see some things.
So I'm not on the landlord side. I'm on the tenant side.
Right.
The tenant's rights. Don't come in my house asking for some money because you know damn well I don't got it. So why would you be at my face? Why would you pull over there and you know I don't got it? If you didn't get your money on them first, that means that's your cue of saying that, oh, this Negro don't got it. Now we could talk to some, I might go pull some couple of, wait till I get my food stamps or some part to try to will and deal. You know what I'm saying? But don't come to my house and you know I don't got it. You already know this. So now you basically rubbing it in my face that I'm less of a man. And you keep trying to put extra.
And see, that is what the other black man said. You talk to me like a dog. And all I said, hey man, if all you got is $80 in dog food and no food for yourself, your priorities are out of whack. You talk to me like I'm a dog. I said, how so? What did I say? Well, what about that? I was giving you some advice. If you found yourself with $80 between you and your girlfriend and no food, but for your French bulldogs, of which you blacks probably shouldn't even think about owning, and you got priority issues, most of these blacks do. And this is what JP's saying. They'll have the money, but just won't pay it. They're going to do something else with it because they have no morals. So the government tells them what they can and cannot do. Well, I got 30 days if I don't pay the rent, so there's no consequence, no immediate consequences. This is how blacks think. They're not accustomed to living anywhere. They just stay from here to there, here to there. So moving is not a big deal. Hell, you heard the last blacks, they go into a motel whenever they leave.
But JP, what they trying to do is rub in their face. They need their money. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna hold you. Like, it's the system.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Well, it's proper protocols. In the ghetto, we're gonna try to milk it all the way till, because I get to the point. It was times like when I was younger, man, Devin. It got to the point.
Real quick. Don't rent to blacks.
Right.
I don't know, man. JP,
she's getting it. She's getting it. JP is the reason. He just expressed it openly and honestly, but I'm telling you, landlords are doing a dance every day. I've shown you how many landlords I've had up here won't rent the blacks. They'll come out and tell you I ain't renting the blacks. Only unless you got Section 8 and you're government black, then they'll rent you. Private market blacks, you just persona non grata. No one wants to do anything with you. That's why JP has a better chance of finding housing than most of you working class. This woman right here up on the chat. I remember one day I asked, she was on there with JP. I said, who got more money in their pocket right now, JP or Lena? And Lena said, I don't have any money. And she works every day. JP's on welfare. He had more money than Lena, and she works.
It's a lot of Go ahead, guys. Go ahead.
So, man, you can't coming over there knowing I don't got the money. It's kind of like kicking me while I'm on the ground, right? You kicking me on the ground. So at that point, I'm gonna be in a defense because you.
This is the reason why these blacks feel like they're constantly being kicked and attacked while they're on the ground is because they are on the ground. They're at the bottom of society, and every little personal affront in them is just disrespect. And insult to injury, piling on these dumb, low IQ blacks. They don't belong here. These are third world mindsets and mentalities that they're trying to adapt to the first world. It's not working. They're frustrated. They're angry. It contorts them at every turn. That a black like this having to try to keep up with his rent and all of his other utilities, his ID cards and all this shit.
You know I don't got no money, so
no,
just
I ain't
telling
got no money. I know.
me you in my face talking about giving you the money. You know I don't got it. You keep crushing me about the rent, and you know I don't got it. You already know this. You knew this before you even asked me. Because if you knew I had it, you would have been had it. So,
and that's the big lie too. And he already dispelled that. He said blacks will have the rent money and won't pay it. That's why you got to ask them half the time.
I probably do have most of the money, but I didn't want to feel like giving it to you all.
See, there you go.
Who want to go through a whole new month? Who want to go through a whole new month with absolutely nothing?
Right. See, that's what he's talking about. You see this? What he's saying is, let's say if my rent is $400 and I got $300, I'm not gonna pay anything because that'll leave me flat broke. And what the hell I'm gonna do for money? Well, you could get up and go to work. Well, that's not an option. I'm not going flat broke for a place to live when I already got a place to live, and I can just commandeer that for free. Make the landlord wait. Again, like without morals or without the ability to shut everything off like T-Mobile or Comcast or Xfinity, these blacks resort to what the government allows them to do.
And low-key, I'm in that same situation right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to give up this $400.
Mm-hmm.
It's on my phone right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I told him that I was gonna pay him. I was gonna pay him a few weeks.
I'm gonna tell you, somebody said JP is slow. Sure, maybe okay. He ain't as slow as most of these blacks. Trust me. He's nowhere near as slow as most of these blacks.
I told him, they said if I don't pay by the 21st, then they gonna go to court and stuff. So I'm gonna, even though I got the money now, I'm gonna wait till the 21st. Because I want to do something.
Well, hold on,
with this
JP
money.
though. You could probably pay like 35% or something like.
Pause it right here. Sir is saying, I would only rent to people, rent my houses to people with careers. The problem with blacks is, and I agree with him, but the problem with blacks is most of them don't have careers. Then what?
Like that, you can probably set some shit up. You know
No,
what I
they
mean?
talking about they don't take partial payments. Well, if you don't
Damn.
take partial payments, well, shit, you gonna get it on the 21st.
Oh God, the fuck you talking about?
Shit, that'll give me enough time. That'll give me enough time to call up some churches or something, and and to hustle. But I'm not finna give you all my money. Then I don't got
But
absolutely nothing.
you got the nursing shit though, don't you, JP?
Basically, what he's saying is, these people have no families, no friends, nothing. They're flat ass broke. And they're not going flat ass broke for a place to live when they have a place to live, when they can just say, fuck you, landlord. I'm going to live off of you. You're going to be the next step of the government for me. What the government can't provide, you'll provide for me.
Don't you? What's going on with that? Ain't that going good? Your job situation?
No, they ain't going really good like that.
Oh man.
Of course,
Man, if I was John Tennant, I swear to God, John, when he would not want to rent to another Negro again.
There you go. You just said it. And again, luckily for the blacks, I don't have a problem getting in the mud with these pig-like blacks, these low IQ blacks. But how many people are looking to replace me? I'm telling you, like, the lady who bought the house on Rayful Evans block, she bought it. Was a woman. Why didn't no black men buy it? They're even afraid of these people. And they run to the suburbs just like women. And JP is saying, well, nobody should be renting to blacks like him. Well, who should? I've been saying all along, yeah, the blacks should be out on the streets, shanty towns.
I swear to God, I'll be tearing up some shit. Oh, you want this little measly $? Like, it is what it. John noticed. You in the hood.
I do know this, yeah.
This is what you're gonna get. This is why you don't go buy property in no hood.
Right.
Because the only people that's gonna rent those properties is hood Negro.
Black people. Black people. You can put any kind of label you want on them, but nobody's trying to make a distinction of those hood people or not. It's Keon Hood. How do you tell, right? Keon probably doesn't think he's hood, but a lot of people probably think he is hood. So we can't make a distinction between these blacks. But what JP is calling for is disinvestment in the black community. He's saying blacks should not even invest in their own community because they know it's going to be ghetto people there. There isn't some large contingent of professional class blacks. We need to get that out of our head now. This is very interesting what JP is calling for because more or less it's underway anyway. Most of these blacks with any kind of money, as JP just said, are getting the hell out and going to the suburbs.
Nigglets and ninjas. They're the only ones that's going to rent it. Why are you expecting top of line tenants in the ghetto? Ain't nobody paying your rent all every month. I don't know nobody in the ghetto that paid their rent 12 months out the year on time. Never. Unless they was getting some type of voucher. And even then with those vouchers, you can finesse. So ain't nobody in the ghetto paying that rent 12 months out the year on time. Nobody. John knew that.
I'm a month ahead on my mortgage. I thought everybody did that.
Well, that's because you came from a lineage of white privilege.
White privilege. This is low IQ Keon, sitting in his mama's house. One day he'll send out an application for an apartment, and he'll wonder why he didn't get that apartment. With the way he looks, his probably up and down employment, and his attitude. Who in the hell wants to deal with blacks like this?
I bet you do.
That was my privilege.
I bet you do. I bet you do have that feeling within yourself that you can have a month ahead. But yeah, go ahead, Uncle Bill. Go ahead. Go ahead.
This shit. I bet you John ain't paying that mortgage every damn month on time.
It's hard to pay it every month.
It's gonna come. It comes at a point in time in a man's life where you're gonna have to steal from Steve to feed Paul.
Mm.
You might got some money that damn I need this money to go buy me some beers or whatever. The penny pinching. I'm cold at penny pinching. Like damn, this only $20. And then before you know it, that $20 go by quick. Then now you need something else.
That is why you can't charge blacks month to month. That's why many companies don't accept partial payments from blacks. They be like, if we step a partial payment, then we're on the hook for these partial payments, for the acceptance of partial payments. Give me all my money. Blacks always do pay you partial payments. I don't understand it, but they do.
Ain't nobody paying their rent on time every month. Their whole existence of being adulthood. You paying all your bills on time? No, some of those bills are getting cut short.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, of course, I'm gonna tell you when I'm renting your place that I'm gonna pay you. I'm gonna make pretend. Bro. I know somebody that give me fake checks.
He probably can cry like the other black. And you see again, blacks are liars through and through. He's telling you how he lies. You can almost just not believe anything they say. You just more or less. I don't believe you. That's the default option. I don't believe you. Prove it to me. And that is why blacks treat each other like that. They know that instinctively the other person is likely lying to them. You're talking to the JP all day long. Everybody's lying.
Check stubs. I know some people that can get me.
Prince, real quick. So let me get this straight. You can be behind on rent. You could stay in someone's home, the landlord, and the landlord comes on the wrong day. You feel as though you can curse the landlord out.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shit, this is my house until the courts evict me. There's a such thing called tenant rights.
Well, okay. So what if?
And see, again, in the ghetto, you got all these half-wit lawyers, welfare-like lawyers, getting the government to benefit on their behalf where they don't hold themselves responsible. Hey, I'm late on my rent, and the government will fight my fight for me.
What if you are doing an Airbnb? Do you have tenant rights then?
I got to check into that because you can't. If you stay in somebody's house.
And again, they love talking about rights, but what about responsibilities? That's what they shirk. They shirk responsibilities and constantly talk about rights. Now, this is the problem with these people. They've inherited a lot of rights without putting in the effort for them.
I was more than 3 days to a week. And if you really want to evict them, you got to take them to court.
I mean, just look at all this knowledge, this black just spouting all these things that the white man came up with for a moral population. These were not laws written for low IQ, low morality blacks.
I wish it was C19s. And when I did that in C19, I was living in a rooming house, and I was like 3 months behind. And the dude tried to ask me to leave, but they made it on the news that they couldn't kick you out doing C19. So I ran with it. I wasn't paying no rent for shit until they lifted that ban where they can kick you out. Shit, I was pocketing that. Them landlords was madder than a fish. Them landlords hotter than fish grease. I'm trying to tell you.
And again, what JP doesn't see is on the other side of all that, where he benefits the other blacks who were sending in the application the day after him. They end up losing. How many blacks? For one black to win, thousands must lose. And that is the game that DP and all these other blacks play. They don't think about their fellow man. They will destroy a property, take it off the market, and they'll go live in a motel for the next 2 weeks. And then they come back out looking for housing, wondering why housing is so hard to find. They're destroying it at the same time. They make people not want to rent to them. They're destroying it.
I understand that y'all look at stuff from a business perspective, but look at it from a Negro perspective. I'm gonna try to get about as much as I can. We got rights. Yeah, this is your house. That's just like CT. If you move somebody in, let's say you got a chick, you move that chick in. She stayed there 7 days. This is what I would tend to do. Every time if I go live in somebody's house, I don't care if it's John's house or your house, I'm gonna make sure I send something to your address with my name on it.
And look at this shit. I mean, these black boys, all they got on their mind is destruction, scheming, plotting.
You're not going to know nothing about it because you rarely check the mail anyway. I'm going to send a couple pieces of mail there. So if you do tend to try to get stupid and get bold, say, oh, well, JP, you can get out of my house. I said, no, sir. You got to take me to court, which is going to take you're going to have to pay money out your pocket to file. A lot of y'all don't have the extra money. You got to file for a court thing. Then you got to give me, first off, you got to give me a 38-day notice. You got to give me a 28-day notice. Then we go to court. Now, if we get another C-19, it's over with. I can be in the house for 6 months, don't have to pay you shit. And with that time, you don't think at that point, since I'm known for the leave in a few months anyway.
Yo, this is the reason, in my opinion, and I've had my buddy up here on the panel, on the phone. This is why he will only rent to Airbnb, because Airbnb is exempt from a lot of these laws. Airbnb operates kind of like a hotel, that if you have a reservation and you stay past your reservation, the host can call you and get you removed by the police immediately. There's no tenancy. And so that is, in my opinion, is why Airbnb, or at some point, it began to fill that void of people that were trying to avoid renting to black people, but they had properties in the cities. And so Airbnb fit right in with that. It allowed them to avoid landlord-tenant court and to avoid, renting to black people, because you do get to accept your reservations. You get to choose who you accept. That's what I think it allows you to discriminate. And I've talked about Facebook as well. Facebook, you can really use that to discriminate. People that are looking for places to rent, they have a Facebook profile. They're posting their ad. You can look through their profile, see what type of pictures they're taking. Are they flashy pictures, flashing money and stuff like that? And so it will allow you to discriminate in ways that even Airbnb doesn't.
Wait, I'm finna do something to piss you off because it's gonna be your loss. Man, I'm finna tear this whole motherfucking house up. I'm gonna cut the copper lines. I'm gonna take this damn to the, because them furnaces be having copper all through the pipings and shit. You can take that copper down to the machine shop and get money. So what I do is I will put some copper inside of the basement, take it to the machine shop, and bring you your money. Whole time you like, oh, thanks, JP. That's man of you to come up with your money. Whole time I just fucked up your whole house.
And this is hilarious to him. And again, the odds of him bringing you the money from the selling of the copper is slim to none. He would keep that money, and he would keep that money and still not pay you. And then you realize your boiler was broken. This is the black mindset. This is why people really are taking chances. This is why I don't rent full houses to them. It's too dangerous. I've never rented a full house to a black. You've often heard me up here say, I rarely ever even rent basements. Hell, I messed up by renting a basement to these blacks that you saw on the screen the other day. Rarely ever. And probably I'll never rent another basement to a black. This is why. They're very destructive people, destructive by nature. And they don't give a damn about their fellow man in the house or people coming behind them. This is why I think, again, we're going to start drawing some parallels here between what blacks are facing, what they're likely facing in housing, and some of these unemployed blacks, like that Dave boy. What's his name? The Gospel of Bob clown, Deacon Dave. Whatever that stupido's name. Like, why was he unemployed so long? It's very interesting. He's supposed to be smarty-arty. Every time I see him getting up on panels, he talking some old smarty-arty shit. But why was that black unemployed so long? Well, clearly you can tell he's stupid. But are people just kind of sick of these people? He's racist. Who would want someone like him in their work environment? Furthermore, I've never seen him, cammed up without that funny background. So where does he live? How does he find it moving from one place to the next? Are landlords openly accepting of him? It's General Dave. Yeah, that clown, General Dave. He was talking all in the chat. John should have called the police. Called the police right in front of that aggressive, dumb black. What do you think he would have done? He tried to grab my phone to keep me from calling the police. Like, that is just totally ridiculous. These dumb blacks. But again, what would General Dave say to JP? It's very interesting. JP is his hero. He likes JP. What would he say to JP as JP is describing how he would destroy his house if he were a landlord? Because JP and General Dave on the opposite sides of the things, right? JP on welfare. General Dave would probably be more likely to be his landlord. So this is it. Like, General Dave must not even think that he'll ever be a landlord. Has no aspirations of owning any businesses in his community because he doesn't want to deal with people like JP. He'd rather cheer them on from the sideline while they destroy other people aspiring to build something. And so this is very interesting about the blacks. They can't condemn him. And if you were looking at the chat, people were, talking against me and saying, not necessarily rooting on JP, but talking against me as if I was in the wrong here. Anyway, none of them found not many of them, I should say, could criticize JP.
Man, I used to leave houses like that.
Black man is God.
This is why the black.
I used to leave houses.
You heard Keon say, he's so destructive. This is why he's God.
Like that, bro. Hey, I used to have my dog shitting all over the place. Mm-hmm. It's many stuff you can do. If a landlord piss you off, run some grease down in all the drains. I will run grease all down them drains. John will be mad at me if he was my tenant and try to kick me out. Oh, you want to put me out on the streets? Oh, you don't give a fuck about me, son. You don't give a fuck about you. I'm finna tear this whole house. You better not leave. I'm finna fuck up this whole house.
Yeah. They do it.
I'll let the rats and stuff come in through all. I would go buy rats.
Yeah, go buy rats.
And put this in for a whole while I'm on that 28-day notice. Man, I would go buy rats and let them rats eat up this whole house. That way, if you go buy some rats, you can't prove that I tore it up. You can't prove that I tore it up. You got rats. Man, when Carmelo Anthony killed that Metcalf guy, I said, I wouldn't be surprised if that Metcalf boy studied the law as it relates to self-defense. Look at how these blacks know the landlord, tenant, that law so thoroughly. They don't know anything else. He probably didn't graduate high school. But damn if he ain't an expert on landlord, tenant, and welfare law. Very interesting. We'll let them rats come out, put cheese all up through the house. All on the drains and everything. Go buy a bunch of rats and let them rats. And then call a buildings inspector while I'm still there. Call the buildings inspector, and they come in, they see all these rats and shit, and they will mess around, shut John's house down, and they need a check. And before you know it, John's house will be up for foreclosure fucking with me. If you go buy some rats, bro.
And then what is the black community gain? A low IQ ghetto dweller forecloses a black landlord. And that's a win for blacks. That is a win for blacks. B. Brave said to me yesterday, he said, John, because he watched the show, he said, man, it's one thing to steal and grift off the government. The government can absorb it. But he said, I saw JP rob a man, showing on rob a man on CT's channel. Older white man. And he said, now he's attacking regular citizens, people that just out here trying to make a living. He's attacking us now. And that is a bridge too far when you are expressing or robbing people, just regular citizens. You know, we'll give you a pass. Hey, man, you frauding the government to get food stamps. You ain't bothering me. But now you are openly talking about how you would destroy your fellow man. And the sad part about this is that he has a business, or he's just striving to be in business, which means that he knows that other blacks will likely try to do this to him, slip and fall on his restaurant, on his food truck, the same way that he slipped and fell in the grocery store. And so this is why these blacks don't have anything. They're immoral people.
And all you gotta, and then you can punch holes in ceilings. You know, rats and stuff eat through all kinds of shit. Now we'll put cheese all up on the roof, and let the rats just handle my light work, and call the builder's inspector.
Hey, real quick. Fly Piper with the $5 super chat. You gotta be a no nonsense with these ninjas. My dad was old school, like easy. We're not talking about the white man. Easy.
No, I'm just saying this is
y'all easy back in the day.
Yeah, so does the white man. As you should.
Easy. We're not talking about the white man. Easy.
I'm just saying this.
See, y'all thinking for the best interest of the landlord. I'm thinking about the best interest of the tenant.
Arab on here.
Y'all thinking about the best interest of the landlord. It's always y'all thinking about the best interest of the landlord. I'm thinking about how Negroes can get by. That's been my life. That's my story.
Marcel, what's up? Hey, real quick. Hey, Marcel, salute to you. Power and water will be turned in an act too.
They trying to get smart and cut the water off because you can't live in a house with the water cut off. By that time, I will have that whole house full with so many rats chewing up through shit. And you know they're gonna make babies.
And you see Keon, he's just giggling, he laughing, he eating it all up.
They're gonna make babies all through that house and call the builders. I did that to a landlord in 2022. I called the builders inspector on their ass. The builders inspector came in. They had to sneak in. Because we couldn't let the landlord see what was going on. Man, I let them builders inspector, bro. I think I still got the messages and stuff that I had. Before you know it, I escaped evictions. Even though he took me to court, he won the eviction at first. That's because I came to court by myself. And then when I called legal aid managed to get that shit dismissed. And this
is what I'm saying. There's so many agencies out here to help these poor blacks. That again, the middle class, the working class blacks who are working so hard to stay away from JP and to pay their car notes and shit like that. They don't realize the carnage that JP is doing on the ground. He's taking away all the investment opportunities. These people can't go buy in Georgetown. You know, these blacks, John, he should have bought in a better neighborhood. Hell, I did when I could afford it. But I can't afford Georgetown, right? Shouldn't you blacks want me over here investing in neighborhoods, or do you want the whites or the Arabs or somebody to come and take over? This is what they need to come to grips with. They need to ask themselves, which would we rather deal with? The Arabs, the Indians, the Chinese, whoever the fuck they want a landlord to, or would they be okay with me? So one or the other, pick your poison. But they're not going to do it themselves in any large numbers. And so they're creating an environment where even blacks don't want to rent to them. So now what's next? Someone said Taj lives in an Airbnb. That could be a possibility for the ones with money.
Off my record. Right, because the buildings inspector said this house was in condemned. Man, the whole house was ate all up with rats. I'm like, the building inspector like, did you know this? I said the landlord did. Now, mind you, the house didn't even have rats before I came in there. Right, it didn't even have no rats. But since he was playing stupid and trying to kick me out, it was because we had some new people moving in, crying about noise complaint. Because I was on my live and stuff with Anti and them, talking about noise complaint. And I was like, bro, you just moved in. So the landlord took his side. I said, oh, really? And he used to live the landlord lived in the building. We found out, guess what I found out? The house the building was supposed to only be for 4 units, for 4 tenants. He snuck and turned it to an 8 unit. So by the time I got done with the buildings inspectors and shit, and his house was condemned, they said they had a problem with him. I didn't even know this. That house was supposed to be. They made 4 people leave.
Angry Snowman. The answer is yes. And next time I go live, I'm going to tell you a story about a black woman and her logic about rent. And something was almost telling me like, damn, like, are these blacks trying to form some kind of mutiny around here? Because blacks would do that. It's one of the problems in renting rooms to blacks. It's a problem renting the whole house. It was a problem renting rooms in that blacks instinctively do not want to pay for rent. So they would try to put their heads together, or they, in some instances, they would put their head together and team up to not pay rent. This is a very interesting behavior by blacks.
Because of me, they made 4 people leave, and he had to turn it right back to a 4-plex instead of 8-plex. He was up there making, it was like a college dorm building, and he turned it to an 8 unit, and it was supposed to be a 4 unit under the state. So by me having a buildings inspector, I said, yeah, we got 8 people living here. It was like, we was on the impression that he had 4.
You know, it's the craziest shit. I showed you the other day, I walked in a black's room. He had 3 people in there. Him, his ugly baby mama, and the child. I ain't rent the room to 3 people. These blacks do this. As if 3 people don't use up more utilities than 1. They're dumb. They can't draw the connection. If I would say something to that dumb black, he's saying, I ain't using that much more utilities. They're so stupid. So stupid as to the way of the world. The only thing saving someone like JP is he has all these agencies that are working for him. The working class blacks, the blacks that are trying and not making any headways, they don't have that.
Because we went through this with him years ago. So he turned it back to an 8 unit. I wasn't even supposed to be there. He charging you rent. The building unit gave me $950 of my rent money.
And I was about to say, well, what did JP get out of this? He got $900. What happened to him? They took some units off the market. $900 short term for JP. And now people that were, benefiting from, that housing, even though it was illegal, JP told them, got it taken away, cost the landlord thousands of dollars, and the landlord probably still had to rent to this black. That's the craziest shit. After having given this black $900 back, he still had to look at him every month and collect whatever little pittance of a rent that he was supposed to pay. I mean, this is why you don't rent to these people. And how do you determine who's a JP? Very difficult.
Ian gave me time. Gave me time to move. And once I couldn't find no place, they put me in a hotel for a week. And he had to shut his house down, and he had to make 4 tenants leave.
Look at that. You heard that? That's the very important part. JP don't give a damn about the tenants they had to leave. Uprooted families, whoever they were, probably just so happy to have a place. Now they got to go out and scramble and look for somewhere else because the government comes down and just enforce the law without any consequences, thoughts about the consequences to the other people that were living there just because JP complained. And look at how it all turned out. See, these blacks are so destructive and they wipe out other people around them. He's a proud degenerate. And these YouTube platforms give him a platform for entertainment value, sure. But right here, he's telling you what I've seen for many, many years. This is raw honesty that most of you blacks want to act like doesn't exist.
Including the one that was reporting for the noise complaint. Don't you blame me.
JP.
Yes, sir.
A man was robbed.
He wasn't robbed.
Arguably by someone with your same mentality. You guys, to be honest, you guys are.
I think that's the end. There was another clip I want to play. It's here. Let me play that one. Which one did I just play? Yeah, I'll play this one.
because it wasn't. I'm doing the same thing.
Simultaneously claim you was kings and masters of technology, and the white man stole it, and yet at the same time be the most degenerate people on the planet.
Like buildings inspector, I'm calling, reporting that we have rats in this stuff housed. That way you build up a report, so they already know when you go in front of a judge. He try to say John trying to say that you tore up his shit. John, you already got to report it that you've been reporting about these. Reporting about these rats.
JP, if you ever sat down,
it's not my shit. I don't give a damn.
And put your.
That's the magic line right there. It's not my shit. I don't give a damn. If you could sum up blacks in kind of one phrase, many of them, that's more or less how they behave. Oh, when B Brave calls in, if he calls in this morning, I got a video just proving that point. I went out for a ride this morning, went out earlier. I had to do some cleaning. And let me just put this video up on, I guess I'll put it up on Twitter while I'm doing this. So it'll already be up there. Let's see how long this is. Okay, yeah, I can go to Twitter. B Brave's gonna load this. B Brave's gonna load this. All right, we'll get to that. Back to this.
Mind to good use and a productive.
That is good use.
That's
the fight back. That's tenant.
And accomplish something and be a man.
I did accomplish something.
You
put me all on the street. You don't give a damn about me being on the streets. So I don't give a damn. It ain't my shit. So you put me out your house, you gonna have hell to pay.
70% of black people
is a bitch.
Dislike white people, right? 60-70% of y'all. What percentage act like you do with this?
All of us.
Destroy.
All of us. All of us. As Anger Man was trying to tell Easy Bands, it really doesn't matter anymore. How many of us are good or bad? There's so many bad ones. And the cost that someone like JP can inflict on you. You got to assume all of them are bad. Listen to what he says, how much damage he can do.
The place instead of just, being a man and owning up to your failures.
It's well over 50% of them that do, because as I said, look at Michigan, Dearborn, and look at all the countries that these particular mindsets emerge.
Well, no, I mean American blacks, not the light bulb head.
American blacks, I'll be honest, American blacks, I think there might be some kind of a DNA transference or some shit going on, because I haven't seen any real difference between an American black behaving this way than a Zimbabwean black or a Somali black first of all, CT, you asked the question months ago, why aren't black people, selling in certain industries, or they don't have their own industries or sorry, you said another thing. But this is why. I mean, there's a reason why certain countries in the world are just shithole countries.
So JP represents black people.
No, JP represents a marker in which you could say a microcosm of what certain ethnotypes behave. And
that's too big of a word for Keon.
This isn't just for JP. There's plenty of others that I can mention that are doing exactly the same. This is a typical behavior of many third worlders. This is third world behavior, and third world behavior isn't restricted just to the people from the third world. This is
the white Egyptians did the black people stuff like that.
Behave as third worlders. This is why you are not excelling and you're not masters of industries, and you're not, there are no black steel corporations or car manufacturers or airplane manufacturers or I guarantee you it won't be a black company that will be at the forefront of the next evolutionary leap in humanity. They're not the ones who are going to come up. It's not going to be a company from Zimbabwe that's going to come up with the next AI.
I want to hear JP tell me about how the Sumerians snatched the plumbing out of the pyramid.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. These guys think everybody.
Yeah, you are correct, Dolomite. It is going to be interesting to see how the blacks approach JP going forward. he's in a position where he provides kind of the only entertainment value for most of these people. I was looking at Izzy Band's channel, sad over there without JP, without John Carl. What is he talking about? Who knows what? Trade the truth teller, who knows what? Many of these guys, they were very dependent on him. But how much of the truth do they want JP to tell? He's saying it's all of y'all. They keep saying, no, it ain't all of us. We make a lot of money. But he's saying, hell, if you got the money, you still don't want to pay your bills.
Everybody stole from the Africans.
Everybody does this.
This is how the Africans actually behave when it comes to civilized world.
That's why they can't keep a water pump in Africa. They keep stealing the bucket.
That's what it is. They keep stealing all the copper.
They kept stealing. They kept tearing down the pyramids.
You know, Hashi, you should. You know, I'm gonna put together the whole video so that black man. First, he came crying and humble. Hey, Mr. John, thank you very much for renting me. And now look at how he's behaving. This is blacks. Turn on you like a rattlesnake. What is their true face? The true face is what you saw the other day. Not when he was crying and humble and Mr. John, and I'm going to pay my rent. Thank you for renting me. Deep down, probably in the back of his mind, he had no intent to pay as agreed all along. That's blacks. And they'll have the money. If they're working, at least one of them is working, I'm sure, they have some money. They could have offered up something. They say, hey, Mr. John, all we got is 200, 300, whatever. We'll pay you that. We'll pay you that. Never said it. Never said those words. Once they get behind, oftentimes they're never even going to make an attempt to catch up. They were behind because of their behavior, and they'll never catch up because of the same behavior.
Because it wasn't theirs, right?
That's what it was. That's
so just because it wasn't, I'm doing the same thing.
Simultaneously claim you was kings and masters of technology, and the white man stole it, and yet at the same time be the most degenerate people on the planet. You can't pull both of these things off.
Can you imagine John's face though after he tried to be snarky and try to kick me out of his house, and he finally get me up out of there, right? And he go to his house.
No, Hoshi, I'm sorry, professional victims? I don't think so, man. I've been around enough blacks to know that he's not that slow. Hell, there are a lot of blacks on the YouTube panels a hell of a lot slower than JP. A hell of a lot slower. Shit, I would say Leonard is slower. Some of these other people, I can't name them all. Him and Joan Dave are probably shooting right there equal with each other. He's just really talking to you out loud. Look at how violent in these YouTube panels get, screaming at each other. The boy Keon, he was threatening to go fight another guy, gave his address on the channel. These are very violent people in many of the cases, of the erratic behavior and willing to jump to violence over the most trivial things. So imagine trying to tell these blacks, you need to get out of my house because you didn't pay rent, and they have nowhere to go because they've squandered their money. Sin 7 cents. Taz is a professional gambler. Imagine a few bad nights for Taz and he can't pay to live. You think he's just going to walk out peacefully, or he's going to be very aggressive? I'd put my money on the side of him being very aggressive. That's blacks. It's not being slow. There are a lot of slow people that aren't very aggressive and violent. Someone said, listen to 90s talk. I don't think 90s is, well, he is kind of aggressive. He's dumb and stupid. So, they're unpredictable in that fashion. Your anecdotal experience, he's telling in 8 ways here. Well, hey, man, night breakup, I hate to break it to you, man. Look, in critical businesses and in places where blacks can do a lot of damage, and we've seen them in restaurants, stuff like that, they just don't give a damn. And if you tell them you're about to fire them, they may spit in the food, do anything. So you have to escort them out almost immediately. Well, you can't do that with housing. And again, so you listen to what JP says he would do and the amount of damage that he would do to a house to, hell, another black landlord. And he talks about all this black power, what black people need to do. But look at how openly and freely that he talks about destroying a black landlord. This is a classic example. For those of you that are striving hard, this is a classic example why, the blacks will never, ever achieve in this country. It's too many JPs amongst us. I've dealt with them all my life. Like, it was refreshing to hear it. Because I've been talking about this and no one believes me. Give me one second. Got my life. I've been talking about this. Anecdotal, they say. No one believes me. But here's a black man giving it to you. Almost the exact replica of what I've been saying. But he's giving it to you from the other side. He's one of the people that I've dealt with for 30 years. It's a lot of you blacks. And what you can do, if you're like him, is so destructive that no one wants to deal with you. No one's willing to take a chance. He said that JP represents, listen again, 45, 55, 40, 25. The damage that one of them can do is just outsized to whatever little value that they're bringing to you. You want to hire one? Okay, cool. Unless he's Michael Jordan, you got to worry every night that if he goes rogue, he could do anything to destroy your company and would take glee in it. It ain't my shit, as JP said.
He got to come out 100-some grand, way more. He got to pay way more for that crib than what the crib is actually worth, right? And he gonna have to pay that if he want to rent. So he ain't gonna rent no time soon. So he's steady losing money. Yeah. At least you had a promise to a note saying I was gonna promise to pay you. As long as I owe you, you never broke. But since you want to kick me out and be funny, and you don't care about my life and me being on the street, you think I'm gonna take care of you, make your house look all superb, and hell no, you want to feel my pain of being in the streets. And while I'm homeless, then I'm gonna be up here. Yeah, you're gonna be up there scraping because now you finna lose. And most black landlords.
This is key right here. This is gonna be key. This is why there are so few black landlords. He's about to explain it to you right here. John Gall stands alone.
Be up there scraping because now you finna lose. And most black landlords cannot afford to replace no $100,000 house, $100,000 damage.
You're right.
You see, this is the reason why
I won't cut the lines because it's gonna look like it was done intentionally. Mm-hmm. Let the rats chew up through that shit, or turn on the bathroom water and let them motherfuckers flow, sink and soak up the wood, down the basement ceilings, the upstairs ceilings all rotten and shit. Mm-hmm. And then you don't let the rats. And if the judge asks you, well, how did this happen? Well, based on the rats, because I was been making reports to the landlord. John is a slum landlord. This will be my, my sauce to the judge. He was a slum landlord. It got to the point, Judge, where I had to call the buildings inspector. Me and my children, we was living with all of that rest. So why you didn't leave, Mr. JP? Because we couldn't afford it and we didn't have nowhere else to go. And I was buying rat traps and stuff like that. And they was eating through the ceiling and eating all the way down to the floor, and they rotted the floor. I'm talking about, I'm going to make it worth his while kicking me out. I'm telling you what God love.
Bill, this is the reason why people in America. I mean, sometimes you guys are very naive of the world. You were all shocked that it was almost $1 billion that they were in.
And you look at Keon right there. His only chance on screen. And look what he does.
World. You were all shocked that it was almost $1 billion that they were in.
It's an angry young man right here. Imagine him in your house. He lose his job because he got to arguing at work with somebody over some black shit. He come back home, no real prospects of finding another job. You think he's gonna just get up and leave when his rent is up, when he can't pay anymore? Keon right there with his middle finger up. He's laughing and kicking with JP as he's talking about destroying somebody's house. You think Keon's gonna leave voluntarily? Or you gonna have to force that black out? I would say Keon would have to be forced out.
They were fraudulent
just from one state
in Michigan.
Just one state.
Yeah, but what I mean is, you guys were shocked how Somalis can't,
and they're doing this shit everywhere.
You were shocked how Somalia can simultaneously be an absolute shithole.
Oh, my bad.
And yet these Somalis are managed.
We have a high trust society,
dollars from
but
America.
when you import a low trust population,
I can just imagine John going back to his house, and as soon he opened up his door, they kicking me out. Rats popping up. They're going around his ass right.
This is what I mean. This is what I mean. They have the ingenious brain of being able to fraudulently get out of doing things or doing terrible, fraudulent criminal stuff, but they don't have this. They
motivation to do the right thing and get a job and pay their bills.
They can't actually put their mind to the positive way of getting a society.
Put like this. I will be one tenant that he'll never forget about. You don't have, if you can be heartless at kicking people on the street because they fall on hard times, well, you get what you dish out. So if you dishing out heartless and being cold-hearted to people because you just want to, black men, you black yourself and a black man too, and you that cold, JP, you gonna get what you dish out. If you dishing out, you don't give a fuck, and that's what you gonna get.
JP, 60-70% of black people
is a bitch.
Dislike white people, right? 60-70% of y'all. What percentage act like you do with this?
All of
destroy the place instead of just being a man and owning up to your failures.
It's well over 50% of them that do, because look at Michigan, Dearborn, and look at all the countries that these particular mindsets emerge.
Well, no, I mean American blacks, not the light bulb head.
American blacks. I'll be honest, American blacks. I think there might be some kind of a DNA transference or some shit going on, because only black.
So. Now, let's say you do use your insurance.
This is an interesting part here. I talked about the broken window. Who was that? Damn it. Was it Bastiat? The French economist, Bastiat. He came up with the broken windows theory. It was a French economist, Bastiat. Broken windows. Broken windows. And here it is. French economist Frederick Bastiat introduced the broken window fallacy in his 1850 essay, that which is seen and that which is not seen. You've heard me talk about that a lot here. The parable explains why destruction and the money spent to repair it does not create new wealth or benefit society. And I think a lot of black people, they're not in the new wealth creation and not very interested in benefiting society because, well, none of the wealth flows to them. So the destruction part, they do very well. And that is what Bill Allen was saying to JP. There is just no infrastructure to build. And so destruction, hell, that's natural. Anybody can do demo.
Now your rates finna go skyrocket.
Right. And so what he's talking about, insurance, let me make sure you get this part.
So now let's say for these properties, bro, they depends on the tenant to pay them.
Right.
So now, let's say you do use your insurance.
Hold on 1 second. Seven still right here. JP is talking about black landlords specifically. And it's interesting. He's saying the black landlords don't have a lot of money, but he doesn't connect the dots. And a lot of black landlords don't have money because the people aren't paying the rent. And they're causing so much damage to the properties.
I haven't seen any real difference between an American or
hey guys,
not if they have rats. And then here's the thing, you do use your insurance. Now, most black landlords cannot afford, they basically can't afford these properties, bro. They depends on the tenant to pay them. So now let's say you do use your insurance to help refix it up. Now your rates finna go skyrocketed. Now that's going.
You see what I'm saying? Like these blacks know these things. Like JP ain't that stupid where he doesn't know the connection between if I cause some damage and the landlord calls an insurance company to come in and help him out on getting these things repaired, his rates are going to skyrocket. Not just for him, for everyone. That's the way it works. They increase it for everyone.
Gonna be
JP's not going to stop renting and doing what he's doing in one place. JP is the metaphorical or the placeholder for this type of behavior. This type of behavior is being replicated and multiplied all over the country, particularly in the inner cities where there are laws to protect them and allow them to do this.
Triple than what you paying a month now. And then
I don't think people realize the diversity between the three.
I think there must be some sort of it's either a historical thing or some kind of, they said just genetic memory. I've seen this across every shithole nation. This is why the globalists fear the white man so much, because you can tear all of this down, this society, this civilization, this Western civilization, and the white man can build it all back up again because they built it. They did it in the first place. But the black and the brown man won't, because they can't. They haven't. If they could, you would see the examples of it. So this is why the globalists would rather flood white Western countries with the third world obedient, JPs, the benefit slaves, than to actually have more white people. Because white people, you can burn it all down and a white man will build it up again. But I guarantee you, not a brown or a black man will. It will look like the same shit. You can have two towns, one with brown and black people and one with white people, and one town come back after 100 years, and one of them will look exactly the same as the shithole you left 100 years ago, and the other one will be a thriving metropolis.
Oh, that's Hafiz. I think he summed it up very well there. There's Hafiz. I think he summed it up very well. Yeah, JP, if you're still in the link in the audience, I put the dropping the link in the chat. I did want to have this conversation with you. I think it'll be interesting. I know, I'm taking it you speaking as character, although you probably have done it before, as you said. As you said, though, I know the game. I'm going to show you some video to kind of explain that. Hey, 7C, man, you're going through it now. Tenant shows no sign of rent payment this month, bro. I was telling you, when you get out of this situation, bro, you got to charge these blacks day by day, week by week, because you give them 30 days, man. They hit the lottery on the 29th and blow all that money on the 30th and not pay you a damn dollar. What's up, JP? Hey,
so here's the thing. Yeah, here's the thing, John.
Yeah.
One, I'm used to white folks being in charge and respecting white people of authority.
Yeah.
When you got black men or black women trying to put themselves in a position like the white man, and then when we see black people as landlords or judges, we expect for you to get us off. And since you doing this, want to operate the same way as the white man, you don't have long years of respect of that. So when you anxious to kick us out, I'm going to try to, I know you can't afford it at your house fixed up. And then I was wrong about something. The insurance will not pay if I could prove that you was negligent.
Right.
So by us having rats and stuff like that, then you will have to come out of your own pocket before you know your house will become condemned.
Hell yeah. You're right.
And so I'm not used to black men or, ruling the show. So I had to bring you down a couple of notches. When we actually, we ask for black people to fight to get in these high positions, but we don't ask y'all to get in these positions to act like white folks. And since you don't want to look after me and feel sorry for me, well, we got to bring you back down a couple of notches. So I would love to see black landlords, and we see them all the time, and to go from owning a house to now they got the rent. Now they got the rent right along. Because y'all not used to being in control.
JP, you know what I would say, man? Like, I think it's it's like what do you call it? Like is it the chicken or the egg? You know what I'm saying? I would bet you that most landlords, the black ones, I'm saying, or at least 20 years ago, I was saying, they probably was willing to do favors for blacks. Hell, one of the reasons say I'm doing, favors to damn near every black person that rents from me. Most of them, as you say, don't pay on time. I ain't filing no evictions and shit like that on them. I don't check their credit. I don't charge deposits. I don't charge move-in fees. That's doing a hell of a lot. If they had to go find somewhere else, most of the time they go to motels. There's very few.
No, like for an example, I know somebody. I got a job. I know people that can make fake high school diplomas. I know people that can make fake check studs, and I know people that can build my credit up illegally But ain't nobody. The landlord is not going to be digging into that all that other type of stuff. They're gonna go in. They're gonna search your credit score.
But what I'm saying is that, like here in DC at least, and maybe I should pull up an apartment. You're gonna have to come up with, let's say the average apartment is $1,500. It's more than that probably. You're not gonna walk in for $1,500. You're gonna walk in. You're gonna need probably $3,000 to walk in the door. The average black in DC ain't got that shit. Even the educated ones ain't got it. Trust me on that. So that's why you see a lot of the working class blacks and see the Izzy bands and people want to criticize these people and say, oh, they just low class black, they this and that. A lot of these people are warehouse workers, CNAs, security guards. These are not, crackheads. Crackheads probably got the government, they living in shelters and stuff like that. These are just regular working class people. And the blacks want to try to distinguish between the people that I rent to and themselves. Like Izzy loves to say, John only rents to crackheads. Like nobody even smokes crack anymore. He's trying to distinguish himself from other poor black people and say he's better than them. And John should rent to people.
The lighter complected people are better than the dark skinned ones.
Well,
they get put in a better position.
But Izzy in this position is not, right? Like he's not rich, right? He's got to send out an application to a white man or a white company to say, hey, will you accept me for rent? Will you accept me for work? And while telling me don't invest in the black community. That's just, it just came off as weird to me, but a lot of blacks feel that way. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you something here. I think I have it on Twitter. I had to evict a white lady the other day.
Oh, you evicted a white lady?
Motherfucker,
you going to jail?
She had breast cancer too, right? She had breast cancer and everything. Let me show you how the place looked after I evicted her. Here's the video. And you got to see something very interesting here. I hope you can hear the volume.
Yep.
Listen. Here with another episode of Squatter Hunters. John got the Squatter Hunter. This is a white lady. She was squatting. She had a couple pets, as you can see. Here's your dog food tail here. How do I get rid of the squatters? Let me show you. Amen. Yeah, we go back around here. You see some of the dog food on the floor. Dog food on the floor. Generally, she kept the place pretty decent. I will say nothing's pretty much messed up here. Except for my lovely lamp. I hate she messed up my little lovely lamp right here. That thing is salvageable. And as you can see, what is so interesting, I never understood about these squatters. Why do they always break my toilets here? My toilet right there. Again, nothing. Again. Another episode of Squatter Hunters. John got the Squatter Hunter. Dog food, a couple pets. And there you go. John got Squatter Hunters. Yeah, so you know how you say you cut the water on and flood the places? Man, that's why I hit the water on their ass first. I hit that shit first. Ain't gonna be no water up in my house where you can flood me out. So that's why I was showing there, no water. But yeah, JP, back to the bigger point, man. I do think a lot of black people, what you were saying, like really resonated with me because you were like, John knows these things, and that's true. Man, I can show you pictures right now if I could pull up on my channel. A black guy didn't have the money to move, to pay the rent. Him and his girlfriend saying it's only $250, $275 a week. On the day he moved out, he kicks in all the bedroom doors. Why do that? Why do that? And then snatch the TVs off the wall. What are you gonna do with 3 TVs? Like, how much is a TV worth?
Well, that when I was back in 2014, and they evict me from a place. I took their refrigerator, stove, their washer and dryer. It's still on my record even to this day. But that's been 13 years ago. Yeah, because the motherfucker kicked me out after he done took my bitch. He gave my bitch a place. You remember? You don't remember Brian? Brian, you remember Brian? Yeah, he. Now I had a. So you remember this? I had a bitch up there, and the deal was he was supposed to give me 2 months for free to sleep with my girl for 2 weeks.
To sleep with your girlfriend?
Yep, and her name was Yaya. So what he did was he slept with her, but he gave her a whole apartment. She didn't have no job. She went on no list or nothing. Gave her a whole apartment for free, and then he put it on my record like I owed him.
Do you see like? I'm curious to know. Do you see how that behavior?
Am I lying? Am I lying? Don't we have a landlord to do shit like that in the projects? How many women that sold their booty for $25 to him?
I haven't, but I know a lot of bitches that have.
What color were they? What color was they? It was a lot of black ones. Some white ones was doing it too. Oh yeah, I got a son.
So you get a famous one?
Yep.
JP, get on your job, ninja.
I know this is my supervisor. She cool as hell, John.
Oh, you at work?
Yep. I'm gonna finna go home now.
He needs to stay on his job before I have to write him up today.
Hey, JP, if you got time, man, I wanted to talk to you about what you were talking about on CT's panel. I thought it was very interesting from a black landlord's perspective, because a lot of things you're saying are very, very true. Like a lot of, I've seen this behavior. I was looking for a video so I could show it to you what one tenant, I was telling you about what he did. It's on my channel somewhere. He kicked in the doors, ripped some TVs off the wall. And again, like, where is he going with 3 TVs? And the other thing is that his girlfriend was with him, which, and I know I'm probably asking a little
John, that's what
here.
you get though.
Why is that? Why you say that?
Because you became a landlord and you forgot that you was a black. We don't. Yeah.
But I know I'm black. I know they black, right? But I think there's some of the stuff.
You couldn't have me as no tenant, John. Even though we cool on here, if I was your tenant, I would take all them little videos that you have done, shaming these black tenants, and use that to my benefit. And especially when you be on here with Be Brave talking about us. How you think the judge, when we replay these videos, it's one thing to record people in public without their permission, but it's to be in my house as the landlord. You basically robbing, invading, and made the world look at it in a certain way.
Well, I think that's where you're a little off. I'm in the common areas. We have cameras in the common areas. So you have no expectation of privacy in the kitchen, the living room.
But showing my toilets with shit in it and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I would have made that. I would have finessed it real good. We have war when you take me in eviction court.
Well, but see, and that's one of the interesting things. That's one of the interesting things. I was telling a guy, who was it? It was Chris Haskins. I was telling him, I was on the Chris Haskins show, and I was telling him, I said, man, if you go to court, you losing, bro. In the court. I don't go to court, man. Like, if you go to court, you're losing. You're losing right off the break, because by the time you get 9 o'clock. By the time you get to court, you've been there 6 months or so. The tenant has been there at least 6 months. You know, they could have been doing who knows what. And
us Milwaukee people would have tore up your house, man.
Yeah, they
trying to evict us.
But that's the part. But that's the part that I wanted to get to. That I don't really. That's the part that I don't really understand. What makes blacks tear up something, even when it's really kind of their fault for not being able to pay the rent? Why do they want to tear it up?
Because you forcing a group of people to take accountability, and that we not used to taking accountability of, like, because the government always bailed us out. And so when you get black people that get in those higher positions, we expect for you to have the same empathy and sympathy for us like the white folks do. So if white folks get to have sympathy for us, and you trying to buy in a house, that means you trying to put yourself in a position as powerful like the whites, but you don't have that long history of ruling shit. So we had to check you. We have to check you and make you realize that you're not powerful because you the landlord.
Okay, I get that part, but you also said something. You also said something.
Yeah, it's definitely hurt.
But you also said something that was interesting. You said that you know that most black landlords can't recover from that.
Right.
So that check becomes like a permanent check, right? Like if you do that kind of damage to most landlords, it's ball game over for them. And there aren't many people lining up to take their place. And I can imagine that there aren't many white people lining up to rent to black people either, unless they got a Section 8 voucher. So one person doing that probably hurts thousands of other blacks. It's like a mushroom effect. When you say that's fair?
Yeah, that's why you got to negotiate. You can't sit up here and expect the same treatment that we could give white folks because you can't afford that. You don't have that respect like white people. So expecting your rent every month, you's a black landlord. You supposed to be willing and dealing, especially buying a house in the hood. You know damn well your mama and them, grandmama and them been in the same situation, and you trying to put yourself in a powerful position of people's lives. You got the will and deal. So if you know that, man, these niggas can possibly mess up. Yeah, I can evict him for $500 late, but by the time he get done with me, I will be coming out of thousands. So you got the will and deal. And the only people going to rent from your house is niggas, because your shit is in the hood.
Yeah, I tell people that all the time. You know what's so interesting? I had my real estate agent up here a while back, and he's a black real estate agent, and he lives over here near me. And him and B Brave got in a little back and forth. But basically, he lies to potential buyers. And he said, and it happened next door to my neighbor. He told the guy who bought the house next door to me, "You'll be able to rent the house. Homeland Security is here. It's an up-and-coming neighborhood." In reality, no person is going to pay to live next door to me in the ghetto. Not somebody that works. Nobody's even going to buy it unless they have a Section 8 type voucher. And that's who he ended up selling it to, was someone on Section 8 that converted their voucher to a mortgage. But my bigger point is that the real estate agent who lied to the man and misrepresented the neighborhood, if he had just been straight with him and said, the only people going to rent over here is niggas, and you're not going to want to rent to them, the man probably would have never bought the house.
Yeah, he would never bought it.
He never would have bought it, right? He thought he was going to be able to rent it to white people that work in Homeland Security around the corner, but they're not going to live over here. And he was ignorant to that fact. And the real estate agent lied to him. And he went off to what the real estate agent said, and I have that clip on the channel. But I think a lot of people are naive to, living around blacks and then doing business with blacks. You have to really soft pedal with blacks because they do have that destructive nature in them to do some of the things that you mentioned. Because I've seen it. I've had it done to me.
That's because we in an animalistic environment. There's no resources around in that neighborhood like that for real. And there is very little resources. And all of them fighting to get that one little resource. Like that. That's why they pay cheaper. Like jobs pay people cheaper in the ghettos because it's a bunch of them want the same job. Can you imagine you have a job that's $20 an hour, offering a job for $20 an hour? How many niggas in that neighborhood gonna want that job? So now he can lower that price and say, okay, I'm gonna pay y'all 10. Whereas if I go in a white neighborhood, I'm gonna get paid $20 for the same job.
Hey, JP, here's a comment on the screen. Seven Seal said, when you wanted to move in, you were humble and made an agreement. Now I owe you something? Come on, JP.
Oh, absolutely. Of course. That's our begging state, right? I'm trying to present myself and try to act white as possible, act like I'm this and that, just like the same way when we go for a job. That's the hustle. And then once we finally get in, we in. You can't kick me out this motherfucking now.
So you consider it like the way that you say blacks put on a face when they go to work. You're saying
that's why we tend to send our women to do it. That's why most niggas will send their women, especially if they pretty, we let our girlfriends talk to the landlord. She'll tell you that she don't got no man, she's single and stuff. And most of y'all landlords be wanting fuck. Y'all gonna wanna, you should have fat old ass and shit like that. Whole time, as soon as you give her the keys, you go popping up thinking you finna get some butt. And it's a bunch of us niggas coming out the damn bedroom. You can't kick us out then.
Look at this video, JP. This is the black man, the violent black man that was being talked about on CT channel. In this video, he's going to be crying. And at one point, I don't know if he's lying or telling the truth, but he says he only has $80 between him and his girlfriend. Listen to this. Like, that don't make sense. Like, I don't know, man. Like, it sounds like y'all got a budgeting problem. And I'm going to jump to right here. Right here, he's crying. He's crying. You can hear him. Listen. It don't seem like for 1 week. But listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying. You got $70, right? 80. The lady got any money? No. So between the two of y'all, $80 and no food. No food. So this is what I'm saying. Like, that's too expensive for you. Where you staying is too expensive. If you miss one, see, he been crying paycheck, and you have nothing but $80 between the both of y'all, you need to move to a cheaper room. Don't you got a dog? How you gonna feed the dog the rest of the week? You got dog food? Yeah. So you got food for your dog, but not yourself. Like, think about what you're saying to me. In a state like that, all you can do is destroy. But what about the act of him crying right there? That's a fake cry, wasn't it? What do you think? You've been in that position before.
Yeah, that is a fake cry. I'm gonna do everything that's possible to try to, just like trying to get out of jail when the police put them handcuffs on you. So yes, I'm gonna try.
What do you think it is? Do you think blacks are naturally like dishonest as it comes to like paying rent and stuff like that? If you had to just put
you said what, John?
Do you think blacks are naturally dishonest when it comes to like paying rent and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, well, black people is not used to. We're not used to always having it, right? This is not something we was brought up on. We used to the government taking care of us. Yeah, you might get a few black folks that try to act like they white. I think that the ones that pay their rent all the time, them is like the Sambo niggas. Like most the real blacks, they not gonna pay their rent 12 months out the year. We in a position to steal from.
Oh, you breaking up, JP? You in the car?
So, oh, okay.
No, go ahead. I hear you now. Go ahead.
What about now?
Yeah, you better now.
So we in a position where we have to steal from Steve to feed Paul. So we not used to having money like that, and like we just wealthy. That's why most landlords do not want to buy in the ghetto. If you know, don't buy houses. See, the problem is you was able to buy that house in the ghetto for cheap, and you thought that you was gonna have the same results. You wasn't thinking about the results like a white landlord in the white neighborhood.
No, because like, see, I don't rent whole houses because I know that you can't rent a whole house to a black. So I rent rooms to blacks. So you lessen the risk by renting rooms than rent the whole house. That's why I'm able to go in and out the houses anytime I want, because you only rented a room. You didn't rent the entire house. So that's kind of the difference. But it was done honestly to not be in a position where blacks could be in my house and I'm not be able to go inside the house and see the condition, because if you look in the
so you want to be a nuisance.
No, it's not being a nuisance, but if you look at this in that video, you'll see that the ceiling has to be replaced. I already cut the ceiling out. But basically a black person, I got the video up on the channel, was taking a shower. And the shower was clogged with hair in the drain. He never reached down to just remove the hair from on top of the drain. And so we have showers with like a lip, if you understand. And the water flowed downstairs, and I had to tear out the ceiling because it was turned brown from the water hitting it. And so these people commit a lot, they just do a lot of damage to properties because half of them, midwits. Like they're dim with it, man. Like in terms of living in a home, the basic things that they should know, no one has taught them. And so I kind of agree with you on that. And that the basic things like using the plunger to unstop the tub or the toilet, they have many of them don't have a concept of those things. That's why I rent rooms, and that's why I maintain the common areas. So because the bathrooms in the kitchen are where a lot of damage can happen because there's water, so that's why I do it. Yeah.
Man, they got a whole lit, man. If you just admitted that you got a ceiling that's kind of leak, man, I would be in there right now while you on this live, letting that drywall fall on top of me and will not get up until the ambulance comes. And before you know it, I got a lawsuit. You can't afford no lawsuit. You's a black man. Right? You bought that house on pennies.
You're all right about that. I'm not rich. And but again, I think, your attitude of what you was expressing and what you're even expressing now, I think is why so many blacks don't even try it. Because they know there's so many people out there, hell, it may be within them, that if you know that black people are this way, there's no way you're going to open up a business among black people. Only the people that don't have anything else, typically like the Arabs, immigrants, I should say. We
got more respect for them to be empowered.
Well, why do blacks have more respect for the immigrants?
Or whites, because we used to them. We rather have somebody that we're not familiar with being power and ruling over us than our own, because we're gonna take an offense when you trying to, because we know you just two checks away from being in our position, and now you want to sit up here and pretend like you all of that, because put yourself in a step above us. Now you want to act like you one of the whites, or you one of the Asian people that actually got power. No, we got to humble you.
Someone has coming up here, Urban 998. This is why blacks don't rent to other black folks. They do, but they only want Section 8. I have a buddy of mine. He's a black landlord. He only wants Section 8. I have another buddy. He's a landlord. He's actually African. He'll rent to blacks, but only by way of Airbnb. Someone says, why not Airbnb? Airbnb kind of forces you to... Yeah, I think... I've talked about Airbnb a lot on this channel. I don't think Airbnb is a good business model, particularly if you're in an area like where I am. I have a good buddy of mine. I should get him to document some of his problems. A lot of black people will book Airbnbs in the ghetto, sleep a night or two, and then complain and get their money back. JP, you probably are familiar with this kind of stuff right there.
Yes, it is.
And so yesterday, blacks have been doing this so long on Airbnb, getting money back from staying at this place, because the threat is, if you don't give me my money back, I'll just write you a 1-star review. And that's going to hurt you just as much. It probably hurt you more than just give me $25 back, give me $40 back, whatever. So he had a complaint yesterday. Hey, it's dusty in here or something. And he said, you know what? Just get out. I'll give you your money back right now. Just get out right now. Right. And it was a mixed couple, black guy, white woman, but they're booking in the ghetto. And so he was like, I don't even want any problems. And I think that's the way that people are approaching black people in terms of even Airbnb. This is the other day I showed a tweet from someone. It was a Facebook posting. It was in the Airbnb host community where someone asked, how can I avoid a certain demographic? And this was on Airbnb, and they're talking about black people, And I think the stuff that you were saying, again, if you extrapolate it out, a lot of black people think that way. That will tear your shit up.
And see, I think a lot of times we know white people got money for attorneys. They got long history of money and stuff. They can afford to get you up out of there and stuff like that. We know that. So we know we ain't doing much damage to them. But when you see a black landlord, we know you don't got long history of money. You barely even had this. You kept $30,000 in your bank account for 3 months. You probably just built up your credit to a credit score of 620. got a loan. You can't even afford it really if the roof go damaged. And we know that. So when you be when the black landlord is trying to kick us out like you one of the whites, we finna fight against you. Now we know you ain't. You should be the last one to be be heartless against black folks.
So how
And
long
you know
should
you can't really afford to.
So should the black landlord just not expect the money if the black person doesn't have it?
As long as I owe you, you never broke. I get to when I get to you.
But that that doesn't apply with the utilities, right? It doesn't like you because the same person that doesn't pay their rent. This is what's so interesting, and this is very interesting about renters in general, but I would say blacks in particular. A black person would be behind on their rent and be demanding services. Why the internet off? Let me get the internet. Why the internet off? And you be like, wait a minute, what? Like, you bringing company over, using up all my utilities while not paying rent? It's just off-putting.
See, I ain't never liked it living in the house with the landlord. Because me and the landlord, I know me and the landlord end up fighting because he gonna be all up in my business like you do. You be all up in their business. And just because they owe you and stuff, that don't give you the right to be in their business.
But do you know what I was there for the other day? What CT show was about?
Yeah, this fake maintenance.
No, it wasn't. A black person, the black man that called me over, the one I showed you earlier, he says, I'll pay you he says, give me $225 and I'll move. That's him right there.
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay, you're behind on your rent. You need $225. I'll pay it to you, man. Just go. I'm tired of dealing with you. And so I get there, pay him the $225. He gets real aggressive almost immediately. And I said, well, go get your things at the basement. Show me you're ready to move, and I give you $225. He go gets a couple bags, whatever the hell he said he got. And then as soon as I send him $225, he said, I ain't moving. And you know what's more interesting about this?
And look, that was a smart move on his behalf because you can't get the money back.
But you know what's interesting about this? And this is what I'm saying. This is why I think it turned Lisa, my baby mama Lisa. He texted me the other day. Well, he Cash App requested from me, and I'll show it to you, $100. He said, send me $100. What? You just stole $225 from me. And now you're asking for $100? That's what turned Lisa. That's what made her say, maybe John Galt is right about blacks all along. Because this is so disgusting, what he's doing. And he got a woman, and Lisa's trying to put herself in the shoes of the woman.
Who cares if you're right? This is what it is.
Yeah, but I think from her standpoint, again, she wanted to look at blacks. JP, you ever know anybody had their gas cut off?
Yeah. Miles was off not too long ago at my house.
Right. I know people had their gas cut off. We probably had ours cut off when we were children, when I was a child. But Lisa had never known anyone that had their gas cut off. Imagine a black person not knowing someone that ever had their gas cut off.
Oh,
right?
She bougie.
Right. That'd be kind of foreign to you, right? And so
yeah, she bougie.
Right. And so seeing this and it's happening, to her, she realized that, damn, these blacks really are destructive. Maybe John Galt is right. I can't believe he would ask you for $100 more after strong arm robbing you and getting violent with you and behaving the way he was. And so she's looking at it like, damn, like maybe John is right. And I think a lot of people, honestly, after watching you on CT, I think you turned a lot of people. I think you convinced a lot of people that these blacks that get up here trying to talk all proper and bougie with their fancy ass titles, they got a lot more in you than they want to admit. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah. Some of them ain't far from you. They're a loss of a job from being down where you are. I heard Nightish saying that he about to be homeless and he trying to soak up as many resources just like JP. I heard him say that out of his own mouth. And so
He might trying to get some cash up, some sympathy
well, but
he's also super chats.
He probably so, but he's also trying to get government benefits. He said, you know, trying to get them to help him get into housing. And go ahead.
Not him calling me a bitch for getting this type of stuff, though. That's crazy.
And
See, I really be putting these people on game on how to get by. You know how many people that after I went to the food pantry and showed it, you know how many people that didn't even know about that? Now they going to the food pantry and saving money.
Bro, I show so many times I get free food over here in the ghetto. You know, there are pros and cons in the ghetto. I think the cons are the people and their behavior. Because like what you talked about, again, if you extrapolate it away from yourself, I think a lot of blacks have that mentality. That they don't want to leave the place without getting some licks back on the landlord.
And you know why? You know the main reason why?
Why is that?
Because most blacks is we used to the white man feeling sorry for us. And when you got black people that come from our woods and then get in the same position as them, you act like you don't want to give us that same sympathy. We love white guilt. White guilt keep us ahead. And this is why you have these government programs and they got resident rights. They got all types of stuff to help you pay your bills because white folks feel sorry for us. So we know we can get by with that. And then you got this old nigga sitting up here trying to cosplay as a white man by owning his own house and renting it. Yeah. And you don't have none of that guilt. You know why you don't have that guilt? Because you know us, right?
Yeah.
And you know the plays that we be doing. So you want to be extra critical and not play dumb. We love for white people to play stupid. Well, we know white people are stupid we know they is dumb to the fact of our struggles and our game that we be running. And by you being a black man, you know we full of shit. So now you in this position, and now you really it feels like you attacking us. If I was him, I would feel like you attacking me.
You know, he said that. He was saying that. He said, you talk to me like a dog. And I'm like, how did I talk to you like a dog? But I was talking to him about his priorities being upside down. He had food for the dog, but not food for himself. And he took that as me talking to him like a dog. So you're probably on to something like right there. Do you think that affects why blacks don't try to open up businesses in their own neighborhoods?
It's certain type of businesses you're supposed to open up.
Like what?
Like, okay. Like again, a hot dog cart. That's why I strategically chose like a hot dog cart or food truck because it's in and out. But I know once I come to the ghetto, my price is going to change. It's going to get lower. As long as I'm making 3 times what I pay for the meat, I'm good. My price is going to change. But if I go to the white neighborhoods, my price is going up. And I'm going to know that I'm going to get tips. In the black community, I know that they got EBT. So all the food that I'm serving is really, they can buy with their food stamps.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Hey, let me answer a couple of these questions here. You know, someone said you got to start checking credit. Let me show you this. You see this? In Washington, D.C., eviction records are sealed automatically under law. It automatically seals cases without a judgment for possession after 30 days and cases with a judgment after 3 years, and landlords are banned from discriminating based on these sealed records.
Yep, that's how it is in Wisconsin.
Right? You see that?
After 3 years, it goes off your record.
Mm-hmm. And
because it's not the other landlord's business.
There are other things that go along as well, like criminal records and stuff like that are shielded. So it makes it very difficult to rent a house and use their credit against them.
So they depends on the other house that you lived previously, but it's easy to find. Like you use my uncle, I'm like, John, just say that I live in your house, even though I ain't never lived there ever. I'm gonna call you. I'm like, John, say that I lived in your house for. Matter of fact, John, I'm gonna need you because I'm trying to get a house in back home in Milwaukee, and I'm gonna need you to say that I lived in DC and I pay my rent and shit on time, I'll send you a couple of dollars.
We talk about offline. I think you should consider renting the whole house and hold out for a good tenant. No. You know, I've explained that many times, and I'll go over it one more time real quickly. In my neighborhood, and I'm going to use JP for a fact, the rents are artificially high. I'll explain to you why. JP, you're gonna be blown by this. Look at this. And when I'm gonna have one question for you, JP, when I show you this, and for the audience as well. I got one question. And let me do this. All right. Go down a little bit. All right. I got one question for you guys. Where the hell is it? Oh, here it is. You see this on the screen, JP?
Yeah. That? Whoa.
For a 4-bedroom house, the government in DC pays up to $6,200. See that?
Yeah.
How many blacks, these old smarty-arty ass working class blacks, spend that much money on housing every month? How many blacks that jump up and down on these panels talk about how much money they got showing their keys and shit can pay that for a 4-bedroom?
No. This is why black women choose the government over a nigga any day.
You see that? So
they,
in my
they
neighborhood,
can't afford that.
So in my neighborhood, if you find a house and you want to renovate and rent it, you can get $6,200 guaranteed, or you can wheel and deal and take a chance on some black who works a job. He slip and fall, get in an argument at work, and now he can't pay anywhere near that, and you get nothing. So in my neighborhood, the landlords that have houses for rent, they're going for that big top dollar number with that $6,200, $7,100. That's what my buddy Philippe did. He wouldn't have rented his house to a regular black person if they offering him $1 million a month, because he knows at some point they're gonna stop paying. And he said, I could have gotten 62 from the government. So no regular class black.
I'm gonna tell you another thing too, John. What you don't be realizing too. Yeah, they got history for the tenants, but it's also history for the landlords. So if word get around the street that you don't have multiple tenants, like you can't never have tenants consistently, a lot of us gonna say, no, we ain't renting from John. Like John is somehow, it's not always the tenant's fault. And somehow, like, by you not keeping people that are living there for a long time, it shows that something that you ain't doing right.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, JP, I'm gonna be honest with you. How many jobs you done had in the last 2 years?
Well, the last 2 years, I ain't had many jobs, like 1 or 2. I haven't paid rent in a year and 12, in a year and like 2 months. I always use these churches to help me pay my rent.
Right, but short of that, you've been in and out of work, right?
Yeah.
Most of these blacks are in and out of work. They're very rarely going to be able to find consistent work, which means that at some point, they're going to be fucked up. They're not going to be able to pay their rent. And that's it's a cycle, man. It happens all the time. Down on the lower class, the blacks can't keep work consistently.
Community advocates will pay your rent for 18 months.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I had a black guy recently. He wanted me to take money from one of these community advocate groups. I don't take that money, and so he got angry.
You don't. You wanted you're not no white landlord, John.
Man, the reason why I don't take it because I don't want to deal with the government. Now I got to deal with the government.
No, you're not dealing with the government. They just cutting you a check. They don't care what you do with the money.
But that money, you have to fit the same criteria short of an inspection as Section 8.
Not with community advocates. Community advocates is not going to be doing the researches. That's Section 8 and stuff going to do all that. Community advocates is not going to be sitting up here had to investigate your house and stuff. No, that's just for the tenant.
That's what I'm saying. Now they didn't do an inspection, but they needed a deed of this and that. And I'm like, bro, like everybody else just paying me straight.
Because they need to know they need to know they ain't trying to, because a lot of us done burnt community advocates. Right. I done had a community advocate send my cousin them plenty money. Mm-hmm. And then we just split the proceeds. So that's why they just want to see the deeds to see you are a real tenant and you really finna let them move in. Outside of that, that's the reason why, because us niggas, we done burnt that.
You know, I got a comment up on the channel, and it kind of goes along with what you're saying. Someone says, I don't understand why these YouTube ninjas have a problem with you when Anger Man is worse than you, the way he be denigrating district. You know, I commented on this a while back. A while back, you may not have been on the channel, watching the channel, but I kept saying, man, there's a big difference. And one time, JP, you remember that JP, you and me and you and Easy and Anger Man. It may be it was on Anger Man's channel, it was on Easy's channel. And again, like, we on both sides of we on two different sides of the table, tenant, landlord type situation. And then I think Easy and Anger Man on two different sides of the table as us. Like, we kind of in the streets and shit, right? You know what I mean? Like, they on YouTube, we kind of in the streets. And you know, and with my position, I'm kind of in the ghetto in the streets. You are a ghetto personification in the streets. And you bask in it, you know, and one could say I kind of bask in the ghetto-ness in my neighborhood. I ain't trying to move to the suburbs like Izzy is done. Izzy lives in a primarily white area. I know because I grew up 60 miles from there. It was always a white area. When I was growing up, it was 90% white. That's where Izzy lives, Hoover, Alabama. Now it's about 60, 70% white, but it's still very white. But he tries to hang on to he lives in a black neighborhood. And, you know, it's very interesting. Here's a Angry Man right here. Listen to Angry Man.
This is what I was talking about. This is what I was trying my best to explain to Izzy Bands that day. It don't matter how many good black people because they do shit like this. I'm pretty sure this dude right here is a guy that just has a regular job. He probably got a family. He probably just a normal dude. But look at what he co-signing. So what difference do it make? What difference? Let's say, for argument's sake, that 50% of the black community was good, well-to-do, law-abiding citizens with families and just normal. And then the other 50% was ghetto-ass hood niggas. What difference would it make if you got 50% good black people if the good black people co-sign the 50% of the niggas that ain't got no damn sense?
That's Anger Man. But Anger Man has said some very interesting things. Y'all know what you think about Anger Man. But you have some thoughts about Anger Man. Here's another one. Listen to this.
The reason they don't know it is because of how erratic and how disorganized our family structures are now. If you've ever bred dogs, here's one thing you know for a fact. If you inbreed those dogs, you can get two results. You can get the result that's bad, which is genetic defects and all of that shit, or you can get the other result, which is inbreeding makes them meaner and crazy because the bloodline is too close together. I don't care what nobody say. I believe the same thing happens because, see, this is what people believe. People believe that every time human beings inbreed, it's always going to end up with some mental defects or some sort of deformity. It doesn't always do that. Sometimes the baby will come out with no deformities, no problems whatsoever. They'll seem normal, but their temperament will be different. Their temperament will be bad. You feel me? I don't care what nobody say. I believe that's something that as a group, a lot of us are suffering from, and we just don't know it.
Oof. That's Anger Man saying blacks are suffering from inbreeding. He said their temperament are bad. You know, that's interesting.
What is inbreeding?
You know, like you having babies with. He went on to explain it. He said in his mind that Pookie is having a baby with Keisha, and then the baby, Pookie go away or whatever, and then the baby grow up and Pookie had a baby by White Nisha, and then they children get together and have a baby, that would be inbreeding.
Was they related?
Yeah, because he said they don't know who their mamas and daddies are. Right. That's what
my uncle's got babies with his first cousins and stuff, and little dude them cool. Matter of fact, they more cooler than their other brothers and sisters. Their other brothers and sisters more wild.
And that's
and they don't got no deformities, and we don't got barely no people in our family with deformities. But what we do have a lot of, like I was considered to be Ritalin. I was on Ritalin. Back then it was ADD, attention deficit disorder, and I was getting like $573 check. But most black boys gonna get labeled as that. So, but temperaments, no, they just come from your environment. If you grew up in nothing but killers and drug dealers and poor and bro, John, by me living in this white city, I see the big difference. Even though this is like a poor white city, but they still have a lot of opportunities in this environment, to the point where, although this is a poor white city, but to us black folks, this is rich.
Yeah. You know, Be Brave talks about that a lot. I'm looking for your comment. Yeah, I hope that's the one you want. Yeah, you know, Be Brave talks about that a lot. You know, I think, again, if you were over here in the ghetto, your food cart would have to operate a whole lot differently. Businesses have to operate a whole lot differently. And I think,
you put a white person there. Black people only trust non-black people to buy from or to do business with. Like I always say, I compartmentalize black folks. That's the majority of us. We don't expect to see we don't want to see black people in a position of power or winning. So I'd rather, like, if y'all have a food truck, right? It's 4 food trucks. You got John, then you got a white woman, a white man, and an Asian man. Who you think I'm gonna go to? I'm gonna trust everybody else but you.
Now I get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying, because, you know, again, I have a lot of black tenants who work in the restaurants, and I get a chance to look behind the mirror, the curtain, to see how they live. And I'm like, oh my God, like, I'm not about to go eat at this restaurant with people that look like him, because I've seen so many of them live so filthy.
We know how y'all live. We expect those people to live. Relentless say, JP, right, where do you get your facts logic from? Life, experience.
Yeah. Now I get what you're saying.
Witness. I was to that question. Yeah, JP, where you get your facts and logic from? Life, experience. I'm living it.
Yeah,
witnessing it.
You know, I do think, you know, again, like what you were saying, you know, you making a lot of valid points. That's what you saw me coming in CT's chat and say, yo, JP is right about that. You know, that a lot of black people, and you explained it, that they may not respect. You know what's interesting? I bought a apartment building years ago from a Jewish man over in the ghetto. I've shown it on the screen. And the Jewish man told me, like, these blacks ain't gonna respect you like they respected me. He told me that. You know, and I never forgot it. I'm like, what? See, I'm black. You know, what do you mean? And but you know, I don't know how they respect him or how they treated him, but I had a rough go of it. You know, I was able to make a go of it, but you know, it was rough.
We start thinking that you think that you better than us because you gotta. Because when we see you, we see you as one of us. It's a crab in a barrel type of mind thing. Yeah. We see you as one of us, and then when you start trying to play like you. Whites, we're not used to seeing black people in a position of power. We more accustomed to white people. We only going to accept white people or other races of people that's in power. And I hate to say this, but if we need people to be in power over us, it has to be somebody outside of our race. Because the only thing we're going to do is destroy the black ones that come in and try to act like they more power. We're gonna destroy you. You know how many ways I came up by watching your video of how I could destroy you as a tenant? Like, and I know I can do that.
Hey, shit, that's why I keep saying he's so right. You know what I'm saying? He's so right. That all it takes is the will to do it, and you know, they can be incredibly destructive. when you mentioned the water, I was like, yep, you know, that's one of the first things I do is cut the water off. You know, I was showing somebody here, look, I evicted a white lady yesterday, JP. I showed you this.
I could bring raccoons into your house and everything.
I don't think most people are going to go through that. But, you know, don't you think that it would be better for all of the blacks if the blacks either paid their rent or just moved on, took the L and just moved on?
No, I got to get my lick back. Black people, for us to be poor, we got a lot of ego. Now, when it comes to a white landlord, I won't do as much because I know white landlords got power.
In terms of you making you face the consequences, I'm assuming you're talking about. And
if you move from a white landlord, especially in the ghetto, they'll let you move back in. You be gone for a few months. I know I like to keep white people in my pocket. So I'm not gonna burn that bridge. Some of them I just hit it before the 5 days over with. I just leave, and you know what I'm saying? Because but a black person, I don't care to keep you in my pocket.
I mean, the bridge to Black America for you, ain't there really nothing over here to keep in your pocket in a way?
Black people don't got nothing. Like they ain't really running nothing.
Right, so why keep them in your pocket? I totally get what you're saying. I don't agree with it, but I totally get the mindset because I'm over here all the time with these people.
Black people is not given. They don't have this. When black people get money, especially the educated butlers, when they get money, they worse than white folks. It's almost like going to the court and you got a black judge or a black cop. They are 10 times worse than the whites. I'd rather be judged by a white person than a butler, hands down. I'd rather for a white cop, a racist white cop. I'd rather for a known racist white cop to pull me over than to have a black butler or a black mammy to get behind me. They are the worst.
That's what
against blacks.
That's what happened with the boy in Memphis. He was attacked by blacks and beat up. Killed. He was killed.
But you know what? You don't notice. You notice that you don't see white people because clearly we got black cops everywhere, right? How come white people is not calling police brutality on black cops? You know why? Because black cops know better not to. When black cops get this superior, they got this inferior races. They have this race inferiority. So like that dude with with that boy got drowned. I forgot his name. That cop. What's that cop that's been interviewing the white boys?
Nolan Wells.
Yeah, the Nolan Wells case. What's that cop name?
Tatum. You notice how, when the butlers get around white kids, they have this race inferiority. A lot of times when black people get around white folks, they can't even determine. They can't even determine who's the suspect, who's the witness, who's the victim. So a lot of times black people feel so inferior around white folks like Tatum to the point where they take everything with a grain of salt. They not going to take it upon themselves to call no white people liars like they will black people. Tatum will be extra critical. If those was black boys and a white boy ended up drowning, Tatum would have had a very different approach. Well,
he would have been trying to make them look guilty more than anything.
Well, we'll never know though, right? Well, unless there's another case.
I know a butler. I've been around them all my life. Tatum, how fragile he is. Like when I used to do security and stuff, it used to be when it came to white people, like we do security at the clubs, in the white clubs. All these black cops and stuff that was around, they did not pull over not one white drunk driver. And they've been drinking. But when you go to the ghetto, they up here waiting till some niggas get in their cars so they can pull them over, hit them with DUIs. Black cops know not to fuck with white folks. They know this. This is why you don't see white people complaining about police brutality coming from black people. It's coming from black law enforcement.
But could it be that they behave better when they are encountered? It will get back to the point that you're making earlier. Once blacks are going to be held accountable for something, they start to rebel and start to get violent. whereas maybe white
I
people
think white people has more power, and those black cops know that they got more power than them. 9 times out of 10, when a black cop goes to the white neighborhoods, a lot of them people be related to they partners and stuff.
Well, you probably don't want to beat up an affluent person of any race, and blacks may be giving whites the benefit of the doubt that when they pull over a white person, he is somebody. So you better, put kid gloves on.
Black people don't view whites as criminals. They don't view whites. It's easy to punk on niggas than it is to punk on anybody else.
Do you think blacks view each other as criminals?
Well, shit, we is. but I think that we was raised to be criminals. I didn't realize I lived a criminal lifestyle my whole entire life until I got outside of the box of criminality. Once I moved out of like Milwaukee, and I see how these white folks hold you accountable up here for everything you do, I realized majority of people in Milwaukee will be cooked because we live a lawless lifestyle.
Yeah, I've said that quite a bit. Yeah, when I first started on the stream, the blacks are more or less lawless. Yeah. Now I agree with you on that.
Even like for example, you do it too. You don't realize it. The mere fact that you come up here on a public stream talking about you buy food stamps, that's fraudulent.
Yeah, that's probably why I never say I bought food stamps.
You know what I'm saying?
People sell them. Yeah, I know people sell them.
But you can do time for a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff. I was raised to be criminal activity, like everything. When it comes to violence, when it comes to like, I was always told if somebody owe you this one $100 was actually worth something. They said I was taught that if somebody steal $100 from you, that's when you got the right to kill them. You got the right to shoot them. If somebody owe you $100. And now that I'm making $100, I'm not finna shoot nobody over no $100. That's not worth it. But it's a lot of black folks in Milwaukee believe if you steal $1,000 from them, you a dead man.
Yeah. One of the things that I found so interesting and fascinating is that, like, it seems to me that a lot of the working blacks are angrier than the non-working blacks.
Yeah.
The ones that are trying to make a go of it. The one that's down at the bottom and accepting of his fate. What the hell he got to be mad at? But a lot of these blacks that are trying to work, it just doesn't seem to be working for them. And the Mexicans, who I think are their closest competition, are just lapping them time and time again. And I think that's where some of the frustration comes at. Like, they're just lashing out at anybody. Their landlord, be he black or white. It could be degrees to it. But I think that's like the origin of it. It's just overall frustration.
Yeah.
Like what do you think about all these black men up on the channels that you see? And if we assume that's a representative sample, right? There's some rich ones, some poor ones. But a lot of them, as you call them, butlers and stuff like that, do you think they're happy with their lives?
Absolutely not.
You think they're happy getting up doing what they're doing every day?
No, they feel like a slave.
Right, and they're probably not making a lot of money. And you remember that guy, General Dave? At one point, I know he was unemployed for a while. Most of these people can't live unemployed for a long time. And that kind of pressure, and I was reading some of his comments in the chat, will make you just want to tear it all down. If it ain't working for you, what interest do you have in building it up?
Right.
That just doesn't make sense.
And here's the thing with a working man, because at the end of the day, men do this stuff to get a woman, to maintain a woman.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Not only that they do it for themselves, but to maintain their family. Here's the thing. A working man do not make good husbands. Why?
You don't think so?
Because one thing, no, they don't. Because one thing women desire from a man is time. They want to be around their man. Attention, good fucking. So when you got a man that's working 12 hours out the day, right? 5 to 6 days a week. Because these dudes be bragging how they working 5 to 6 days a week, right?
Yeah.
Now, when they come home, 12 hours a day, they come home, they not finna be energetic. They gonna be tired. 5, 6 days out the week. So Sunday is when she probably get the best fucking day he can give you, right? So he's not gonna be able in a mood. Most working men is not in the mood to satisfy his family. He's not gonna be active with the kids because he's sleepy. Although the bills is paid, but what's more important is his presence. What's more important is his time, and he's not able to do that. So this is why a lot of women will leave a working man alone. That's why these women say they rather have a man that's rich already, so she can mainly spend time. Because a man that always got to go to work. So when you tell a woman that you working all of these hours, you really frighten her, because at the end of the day, she know that she ain't gonna have much of you or the family. So that's why they come home to us niggas that barely even working. We sell a little dope here and there. You know what I'm saying? And the dope dealer is always home, and he's still making the money to keep the bills paid. At least the lights on.
I don't know how much the sex comes down to. I can't really say.
The sex matter. These women, they be want to get desired, and so when you always gone, and your woman is on this, she's still at home. So let's say you make enough money to keep her at home.
But hold on. Most of these men, he's talking about women and stuff on these panels. They're not making a whole bunch of money just keeping them away from home that often, unless they're truck drivers or something like that. Most of these men, are working 40 hours and coming back home. Let's just be honest. Hell, most of the cases their wife working too, because they ain't making enough money to keep the wife at home.
Yeah, but here's the thing: once your girl at home dangling, she at home. She gonna go outside. She gonna sit on her porch, and now her neighborhood is more interested than you. You always going. Hey John, you know how many men I knew that they always work, and they women always tell us when a man is at work and stuff. So we know your schedule. The whole block know your schedule. And guess what? Women is attracted to entertainment, excitement. So while you at work, it's a lot of shit going on in the ghetto. Before you know it, this is where women say we have grown apart, because now she got so involved in the streets while you at work. You didn't realize you was losing your whole family. Now your kids is more familiar with the niggas on the block than you is, because you always gone.
Well, and there may be some truth to that, in that, in the ghetto, a lot of these men do have a lot of time. Hey, baby, they hollering at women as they're walking their children to school. I got some video of that yesterday. A single black woman, not that attractive, but, she's thick and all that. Some black man immediately walked up to her on the bus and started talking to her. They got time to, shoot their shot over and over and over. And hell, they're shooting their shot all the time. So they're getting probably better at it than most men who are all working. There may be something to that. I'm not quite sure.
And you barely even fucking her good. So do you think these women, just because a woman chose you, just because a woman bought this car, that don't mean she won't drive them other cars. So we looking at a man just like we view women as a car. That's how women view us. Just because she bought this Mercedes, let's say you the Mercedes, that don't mean she won't drive a Chevy. Yes, the Mercedes is the ideal choice, but they real comfortable with a Chevy as long as that motherfucker get them to point A to point B. And that's how women view men. Yeah, the ideal man is to have the rich man or the wealthy man. But she don't mind getting her a hood nigga that can get her from point A to point B. And this motherfucker give her a good dick.
I guess, it all depends on what she's looking for and what the men in her circle can offer her.
All women want good dick.
I think probably the older they get, the less that becomes as important.
Well, as they get old, they no more desire. They can't have no more kids. Their titties is mopping and sweeping the floor. So at that point, they done anyway.
I wanted to ask you one more question. Why do you think and it's back to the rent again? Because I found it very interesting what you were saying, because again, you really talked like you knew what you were talking about. We played the clips earlier, and I just I just don't understand it. I guess the destruction. I had a black man recently couldn't pay his rent, and he attacked an old man in the house with him. And then he just lashed out at the microwave. I'm glad it was the microwave and wasn't something else. but he just lashed out at the microwave and tore off the microwave door in anger as he was moving out. And in his room, he splashed juice all over the wall. I mean, it's petty relative to some of the things you were describing. I'll take that all day. But I just don't understand the mindset. If you want to speak to that a little more, you can.
Well, it's all about making you get this. If you want this rent money, I'm going to make you pay for this rent money. So you're not finna, bro, by you being a black landlord and you evict me, I'm going to make you pay. Let's say if I owed you $500. By the time I get done finished with your ass, you're going to regret that you kicked me off for $500 because now you're going to be coming out of thousands.
But do you think that in many cases you should just recognize maybe you can't afford it?
Well, most times black folks can't afford none of this stuff. This is not our system. Capitalism and how the way America's set up, this is not what we used to. I mean, we forced to operate within this cult. All this stuff is a cult that black people didn't have no parts or don't have no ownership. Black people don't own none of these businesses. Black people don't own none of this system. So it's not a shocking that black people going to be in a more of a disadvantage than everybody else because this whole system is predicated. When you look at the advertisement, the marketing, it's not marketed to black folks. It's marketed to white folks, Asian folks, and stuff like that. So you already know by that logic, if we're going to automatically be in a disadvantage of everything that's how this whole system is ran. So it's quite understandable to see black folks in a lower disadvantage than any other race. When a white kid see this situation, he see himself in these systems. He have something to inspire and something to be motivated in. Why? Because the system represents him. The system represents him. The system do not represent us, and we do not benefit for real. As far as like being in ownership of the system or, making rules or really benefiting from it. And that's why black folks do what we do, because we feel like we already getting put in a system that we already get put in a position that we do not benefit in, or it's almost like going and living in somebody else's house. That's the position that black people are in America. It's like going in, living in your basement. Yes, you living in with these white folks, but these white kids got a bedroom. These white kids is on the lease. You not. You just living in, you just a friend, and you got white people feeling sorry for you. And they got you living in the basement. So yes, so now when you done got us comfortable in living in your house, and now you kicking us out because this system is not designed for us. I'm saying the whole capitalism, money, jobs, all that, housing, all of that. You kicking us out. So yeah, I'm gonna burn this motherfucker down.
I was putting together a video. I'm hoping I can play some of it. It was some interviews that we've in street interviews that we've had over a couple of years, yeah, and they all kind of added up to more or less what you were saying. If you really look at it at a high level, the black men and black women are so unable to forge relationships, so they can't really put their heads together to pay bills. They're trying to do it separately in a very expensive area like DC or New York or something like that, and it's just not working. And so one of the clips, man, I really wanted to show it to you. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if it was what was that?
I would not want black people. Security boss told us that in Africa, there's no welfare system. You have to work and pay for everything you get. There's no welfare system. So I think that us black folks need to be careful of trying to get black men to lead. Black men don't have that long guilt trip. They don't have that guilt because they want to prove that they ain't stupid and that you ain't running no game on them. They ain't gonna let you off. They don't. I already continue to let the white man rule over us, rule over me, because at least it comes with some type of sympathy.
Hold on, my bad, JP. I got something playing in the background. Let me stop this. Hold on. Shit. How do I stop this? Give me a second. Yeah, damn. Hey, damn. Hold on, JP. Keep talking, JP. I can't stop this shit. Give me a second.
Yes. So I would not want black people to lead us and stuff like that. In Africa, no welfare system.
Oh, you keep talking, JP.
No.
I got something playing, man. Yeah, I'm trying to stop this shit.
I got you. No welfare system at all.
Can you?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. No welfare system at all in Africa.
Okay.
I'd rather have the white man rule over me. I would not want to follow no Africans. That's why I'm not moving to Africa. That was a deal breaker when she said it ain't no welfare.
I disagree with me. I don't know if I'm...
Huh? And then she said you go to the hospital.
That was a deal breaker. Can you hear me, JP?
Yes, I can hear you. When you go to the hospital, you got to pay for your shit.
Yeah. You go there.
Man, hell no, that's a deal breaker. I get special treatment by being broke.
JP, I want to play a couple videos. I want to get your comment on this. I titled this. What did I title this? Or I'm going to title this. Let me see if I can show you what the title would be. Here is. I do want to get your comment on some of this, JP. It hits right in line with some of the things you talk about. Let's see. What would the title of this be? I forget what it would be. Is it here? Oh, yeah. Here it is. All right. Damn, if I show it to you, let me see. The title would be of this video, The Black Woman's Plight, JP. I want you to listen to some of this. Let me know if you can hear it. Can you hear that?
All right. Nope.
Can you hear it? Let me know if you can hear that. You can't hear that? Let me... Can you hear that?
Nope.
Sometimes StreamYard doesn't work. Hey, audience in the chat, let me know if you can hear this. Let me know in the chat. Can you hear that? You can't hear it though, JP, right? You on mute, JP. Let me try it one more time, and if it doesn't work this time, then we'll just say hell with it. All right. Damn, let me make sure I did this. But this is a couple interviews that we've had on the stream over the years. Is this? Okay. All right. Okay. I know they didn't do right. All right. All right. Got it. All right. Here are a couple interviews. I want you tell me when to stop, JP. A pattern that I've seen over the last couple of years. Let me know if you can hear it. Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can hear it now.
Let me know if you can hear this. These phone calls, these streaming interviews. I hope you enjoy. Take a listen.
Right, because you come back home, then what?
I wasn't receiving SSI no more because I was incarcerated.
So okay, your mom didn't put SSI.
And she sent me.
I know you were tight.
And she sent me to my dad because she wasn't getting no money from me.
So she said, "You ain't bringing no money in here. You got to get." Oh my God. So what do you think about your mother, man? Honestly, I know it's your mother, but just give me the straight.
I love her, but I don't like her. That's my mother. Yeah, like I love her, but I don't like her, and I want to stay far away from her.
Well, what do you think about the nigga she with?
I don't like him either.
Why you don't like him?
He's supposed to be a pastor. This nigga did 20 years. Like this nigga ain't no damn pastor. He came over me with a knife talking about I'll go back to jail. And she got shot the day that he came and shot her. I told her that it was a trick.
What you mean you told her it was a trick?
Yes, I was 5 years old. I don't know what I was talking about, but I listened to conversations. I heard bell rang, and I heard who it was. It was my brother's girlfriend. And my brother didn't come over for a few days. Before my older telling my brother not to do nothing like that because that's his mother. So like listening. So when that day came and somebody rang the bell, it was just me and my mom there all day. I said, "Ma, it's a trick." She said, "What you mean it's a trick?" She laughed at me and opened the door. My brother come around the hallway, and his girl in front of the door. He come around the hallway like, we're going. Walk me and my mom inside my room, inside my bedroom. I walked out. I said, "Nigga, you bugging the fuck out." I'm leaving. I'm going to watch cartoons. I went and sat in front of the house phone. I know 911. I sat right in front of the phone, looking at the TV. He like, go back in the room. I'm like, no, watching TV.
You think he was gonna kill you too?
No. I know he wasn't.
Why he wanted you to go back in?
Because he
gonna kill you.
He probably was, but he wasn't going to do it right there while I was in front of the phone. And then,
but if you're going back in that room, you think he would have killed you?
Probably. I don't know. I was 5. I don't know. I don't believe in none of that. But I don't know. My mother ran out my room, tried to run to the front door, and he turned around, saw her. He pushed 3 shots. Boom, boom.
Damn. And where was that?
Texas.
How the hell did your father end up in Texas?
My dad lived in Texas with my.
Yo, is that not a crazy story, JP? That's just one of the many crazy stories we had on the channel.
Yeah, a lot of times women pick security guards. So basically, when she see a nigga that's willing to get down, you know, she gonna keep that man around. If he can, you know, now if the son would have whooped his ass, or he would have been gone. But oh, here goes some more benefits calling. How long was?
All right, I'm playing this other video. This is another lady. This was from Brooklyn, same
You
spot.
working with this establishment here?
No, we just we drink at this establishment quite a bit.
Okay.
But no, we're not working with them right now. We just podcasting.
Yeah,
Man on the
nice.
street.
So
yeah.
I'm a
tell us about yourself.
producer from Brick. I have a bi-weekly show. The name of it is called Resiliency.
Resiliency. Get crack. Put that in the chat. It's a YouTube stream.
No, it's streamed live on channel 68, 78, Optimum, and Verizon.
In the New York area. All right.
It's actually worldwide. It's
Oh, really?
global.
Okay.
So I've been writing books. I wrote 3 books. They're nonfiction.
What's the name of your books?
The first one is called Loving Him and Losing Me. The second one is called Brave Road, which is a conversation between just me and God. And the other one is called My Grief and Heart, which is all based on true events. But this one is based on the murder of my son. And I turned tragedy into triumph. And I put in pinpoint the perpetrator getting caught after he Facebooked me confessing to killing my son.
Wait, so he Facebooked you confessing to killing your son?
Well, this is what happened. I made a fake page, right? Because I didn't know the guy.
You made a
fake page, finally befriended me, and he committed to killing my son. He didn't know he was talking to the mother of the man he had just murdered.
Oh, shit.
So now that made me a witness in my own son's murder trial because now I have evidence.
Right.
So I sent it to the DA, and he got life indefinitely for malice murder.
Now, where did this murder happen? In Georgia.
My son moved out. He graduated in 2007. He became a phlebotomist after he was a chef for so long, he got tired of it. So 2009, he moved to Georgia. He bought a house, raising his daughter in 2011.
Now, what were the circumstances surrounding?
I don't know. I know that he was living in my son's house. And more than likely,
Wayne was living in your son's house.
he was living in my son's house.
And so he was renting or something from your son.
He wasn't renting anything.
But
My
he was
son
living there.
allowing him to live there because
Okay.
he didn't have a job.
He didn't have a job.
He was pretty much homeless. He just came from out of jail. I didn't even know that.
And he's from the New York area?
And he lived in Philly.
Okay, so
So my son allowed him to live in his house. He
Right.
needs my son's granddaughter's calling you uncle.
Oh.
So they had some type of relationship. I never met the guy.
You never met him.
That was my son's girlfriend's brother. And whatever took place, altercation happened, and he stabbed my son. So my books, motivation, encouragement through tragedies, right? Because a lot of people didn't live through their children getting murdered. I know a young lady, her son got killed. She committed suicide.
Yeah.
So I am so grateful that God gave me the strength, right, to get through and help somebody else. So my books aren't based on what Cynthia did. It's based on what God did in my life, right? Her anniversary just passed, July 31st. It made 13 years. And, to move on. I'm sorry for your loss. Thank you so much. So I'm here. I live at the block for like almost years now. So I'm here. I hope I retire like 3 to 4. I don't know. I'll see.
Yeah.
I'm too energetic. If I retire, what I'm going to do?
What
I
are
don't
you
want
gonna
this
do?
new
Yeah.
house in Philly or down south and just sit on the couch and drink tea. That's not who I am.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'll see. Whatever God has for me, right? Yeah. That's not a little bit of money neither. Because then you be broke. Then you be like, what? After work.
Where are your grandkids?
2 or 3 of them actually in Georgia, and 2 of them are here.
Now, let me ask you this. So you said the girlfriend's brother committed the crime, right?
Correct.
And did your son have children by the girlfriend?
No.
Okay,
Thank God.
Yeah, well, are you still in contact with the girlfriend?
No.
Yeah. Do you think she had anything to do with it? Did they put her in prison?
For like 30 days. So it was like, okay, well, just holding you for informational purposes. But of course, she ain't confessed to anything.
Now, why do you think she had some?
First of all, she normally would call. We have a conversation. We talk. During this tragedy, you never called. You didn't call anybody.
Wait, she never called you after you murdered.
Never called me to say.
You have Cash App, ma'am? Yeah, Cash App.
That one.
I think it's a difference with black and brown people cheating. I want to go back to the first question. I think it's a difference, especially for black men.
What's the difference?
I'm a black man that's been all around the world, and I dated. I don't date white. I don't date nothing outside of black and Latino. And I think black women don't got to the point where they don't became a little too rough. They're not as delicate, man.
What do you mean by that?
They just not as delicate. They're not as soft. They're not as feminine. It's like some of that old school stuff that I noticed my grandparents got. Black women are lost, and if you wanna feel that again, you gotta get a Spanish woman now. Like I'm not saying they better. I just feel like they're a little softer, a little more delicate. I don't want to say too much and start talking too much and babbling too much about that.
Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yes. How you doing?
I don't know what's going on.
Say, what's going on? Is the black lady still causing the problem?
I don't know. I guess she's at her room yelling or something, but there was a lot of noise in the hallway. I just opened up the door, and I guess I saw one of the tenants coming out of the room next beside me.
And what are they yelling and screaming about?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Oh, Jesus Christ! And what did she say to you? What did she say? Something about you being Spanish or something? What that had to do with anything?
So basically, I said, "Did you call the paramedics?" And she said, "Bitch, why would I do that?" And I'm like, "I don't know, but somebody called." And I'm like, "Never mind, I'll tell them to leave," because at that point, I told them to come in the house because I'm like, if I didn't call, there's other people that live here.
Right.
So they were in the house, and then she looked down the stairs and she was like, what did she say? She said something about, why would I call them? Something, I'm not a crackhead or some shit.
Oh.
And then after that, she was talking to some guy, and I was coming up the steps, and she was like, all these Migos, she was like something about all these Migos are in the house, or why did he let a Migo move in or some shit. And yeah.
But are you visibly Spanish? Hispanic or whatever? Oh, you kind of tell?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. And I'm the only in here. Yeah.
I guess is her hair short or something? Cause you know a lot of these black women be very jealous of like people with long hair. Is your hair long or something?
Yeah, the hair that I have in my hair is long. Yeah.
Oh shit! And her hair, I guess,
when
is short.
When you come, you'll see what I'm talking about.
And so her hair is short, I guess.
Yeah.
And you said she kind of ugly.
Yeah, well, not kind of. Yeah, definitely to me. Yeah. I know it's.
I mean, that's the way it is.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah, that's the way it is. These ugly black women are very, very angry, and so that's probably kind of what led to all this. It's good she's probably gone because of that.
It was like December, January, I started having real bad anxiety. Yeah. I fell asleep and I woke up and thought I was on a plane.
Are you serious?
I woke up and I was in the chair like, where am I? And it's like, prepare for flight. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And I freaked out in my sleep.
Are you married or anything?
No.
You have any children?
Yes.
How many children do you have?
I have 4 minus one.
Okay, 4 months, one to pass or something. Yep. Okay, sorry to hear that. How old was he when he passed?
33.
Oh, okay. You getting up in the age. So it wasn't like some childhood defect. I'm assuming, right?
He was perfectly healthy. Good kid, didn't smoke cigarettes, didn't drink, didn't do none of these crazy drugs, pop pills, none of that.
Right.
He only smoked weed. And I was told that he was found unresponsive in his daughter's mother's house.
Yeah.
About 7. I got the news about 8 o'clock. And they don't know what happened to him. The last thing they see him doing was smoking a blunt. And I'm wondering why my son is not here, because weed ain't never killed anybody.
Do you think the woman had something to do with it?
I surely do.
You do?
I don't think that she probably took on
Yeah.
And my son died at May 22. He's going to be away in Jersey and towards funeral expenses or anything. You could sell me.
Jeez.
So she could get the operation if she.
Oh, she got the operation?
No, she needs to get the operation.
Dang, 600 pounds. Jeez, great.
I don't know.
Ask him, what did he see in her?
My son, from young, since he was a teenager, he always liked big girls.
Did he?
I don't know why.
Yeah.
And then he always used to bring them to my house, bring a big girl to my house. And I used to tell him, bring a big girl that can feed us. Because I can't feed you, her, me, and your brother. I don't have, my budget doesn't go that far.
Yeah.
So I was like,
what do they eat though? What is the woman that weighs 600 pounds eat?
Everything. The fuck?
Have you ever seen her eat though?
No, but he told me.
Right now,
how about the sister gals?
Oh, for Christ's sake, spit it out.
Just answer that question. Come on. Come on, man. We on the stream, man. Come on, you have to spit it out.
Listen, put it like that. How can I say this,
man? Come on.
It's been a minute since I dated this.
You heard that? Wait a minute. Now, hold on. It's been a minute since you dated a sister gal. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Now, why is that?
Hours with no money.
Wait a minute. Well, why is that? Is it because of the money that you make or the lack thereof?
I really don't. To me, I mean, I can care less. But
the women he's with are pretty.
Come on, Brave. I'm trying to get a clear answer here. Give me the answer. Come on. All right, just spit it out. Come on.
Damn.
Yeah, you can say it. Yeah.
What's the reason why you haven't dated a sister gal in a while?
Because their preferences is not me, man. 9 times out of 10, I'm not the main preference for a black chick. And so I don't waste their time or my time making them believe that they can have me. When 9 times out of 10, I'm probably not the guy for you. You know what I'm saying? I could be a brother. I can look out for you, make sure you know what I'm saying, you safe and you get home nice and you know what I'm saying, and that nature. But no, I don't even waste their time when it comes to.
Do you find them attractive?
No, it doesn't.
Come on, Brady. Look at this, Brady. Do you find them attractive?
God damn it.
The ones that like me, yeah, I find them attractive. But the ones that I just want to, have fun with, it's just a moment in time. Like I'm not really stuck on.
You don't see yourself building anything with a sister gal.
Not in the city, John. Now listen, demographics and social circles. Listen, down south is a different story too, John. If I met a sister girl down south, it's just always been them women are more understanding from my perspective. They're more nurturing. You know what I'm saying? They see the potential, but they also know what they're working with as well.
But
and I don't really ask for much.
Right now, you're not entertaining the sister gals. Is that correct? Is that fair?
That's fair to say.
How long has that been?
Oh, it's probably been Shit, it's probably been over 10 plus years. I ain't gonna sit up here and lie to you.
Yeah. You haven't even had sex with a sister yet?
Nah, not into nah.
Damn. Yeah, the volume a little low.
I'm John Galt, the urban landlord. This is Rob's girl, right? Rob. And so that's your mic right there. You can talk into that mic.
My name is Jasmine.
Jasmine. Yeah. And where you from, Jasmine?
New Jersey.
Did you come down here? Did you come down here for Howard University? How did you end up down here?
Event planning.
What kind of events do you plan?
Conferences mostly.
Who do you plan those conferences for?
Who do I plan at the Ronald Reagan building?
Downtown, it's like
I don't like to tell people
it's
that.
like 13th Street or something like that. Downtown, right?
Yeah. 14th Street, yeah. I don't tell people that because I'm black.
Well, you don't like Ronald Reagan?
Do you?
How long you been here?
2 years.
Oh, okay. You from Chocolate City when I first moved here. Yeah.
I'm trying.
So what brought you to Nomad tonight?
Just trying to have a good time. I went to the baseball game.
Oh, okay. You went to the next game. Okay, I passed right down there on my way
I
here.
went to the baseball game and it's cool. So I just wanted to see what else was around.
Yeah, the good time. So you decided to come over here on 8th Street.
Yeah.
You ain't go to any bars over there on next?
We did.
Yeah.
It was mostly
white people.
Yeah.
I knew what you were talking about.
So I said, but we got to relocate.
You want to come over to 8th Street? Yeah. Do you live in DC or Maryland?
By the way.
Maryland.
Well, what part of Maryland?
Rockville.
Damn, you got a long way. You got a long way to go when you leave here.
But I work in DC.
Damn.
So
why do you live all the way out there? You like living out there? You don't like living out there. Do you really?
I thought about living in DC, but
there ain't no black people in Rockville like that.
it's black people in Rockville.
Ain't no black people like that. It's a handful.
A couple of us.
A couple of who you look?
It's cool.
Yeah.
I like the quiet though.
What
What
right.
brought you to DC?
A sweet young lady.
A sweet young lady.
Yeah,
Are you married? I have.
Okay, what do you think about the DNC?
The DNC?
You riding with Kamala or what?
Yeah, I'm running with Kamala.
Okay, there you go.
I don't have no shame in that. I don't have shame in that.
No, ain't no shame in that. No, that's why we did that shit.
I voted for Kamala.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris, absolutely.
You know you're supposed to say Kamala.
Kamala, sorry.
Yeah, you know, I just wanted you to get it right now.
I don't want to be correct me every time.
Now,
I voted for Kamala.
Did you like Biden?
Did I like Biden? He was okay.
It was okay.
I would have voted for him if he didn't drop out. I would have voted for him. Yeah, it wasn't the way I was going the other way.
Okay, that's fine.
Personally,
John, ask her if she thinks Kamala is black.
yes, I think Kamala is black.
Someone said you think okay. She said
But I
yes.
don't have to think that. That's what she is.
Did you go to college?
Went to school for criminal justice.
Hey, John, ask her how's dating in DC.
Oh, they say she's not black. Well, if that's what you feel,
You can't. Hey, someone want to know. Someone wants to know how is
I don't
dating.
care if she was green.
Someone wants to know how is dating in DC.
Trash.
Okay, so why is it trash?
Dating in DC is trash.
Why?
You tell me. I don't think it's just DC. I think everywhere it's just not. The men ain't hitting.
Why aren't they hitting?
Why aren't they hitting? I don't think we're equally yoked.
Explain that to me.
In career, education, where we want to go in life, like it's just such a difference. Like I feel like we're always trying to succeed and be in a different place than we are, and men are comfortable where they are. Not all men.
So you found the men that you try to date, you be like you're ahead of them professionally.
Like I feel like I'm always ahead of the men that try to date me. So I don't feel like it's ever.
But a lot of men are doing well here, though, right?
I'm sorry you feel that way.
I'm gonna turn the camera around because she over here driving the conversation.
I'm reading
They just talking shit in the audience, you know.
I mean, everybody, but I feel like equally yoked is very important. Spiritually, career-wise, emotionally, like.
So
mentally.
what has been the issue? The men don't make a lot of money for you.
I mean, money is one thing. But it's also
So, like the last man you dated, tell us.
mentally and emotionally, it's a big thing.
The last man you was dating, tell us about it.
The what?
The last guy you were dating, tell us about it.
This is the
I don't even remember.
plight video.
Do I prefer race or
A compilation of videos
ethnicity?
here.
No. I mean, yes. I can't name it.
She, y'all, why you lying? She, you lying like a motherfucker.
Say no, but the answer is yes.
So you prefer black men? I'm assuming.
Yeah. I'm not gonna 100% discriminate, but
You will 99% discriminate.
yeah, I like what I like.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. And you know, every now and then I see a white man that's like, oh, he's attractive, but
You ever dated a white man before?
no,
How about Hispanic man?
Asian,
You dated Asian man?
very briefly.
Well, what was he? Was he like Vietnamese or Korean or what?
I don't remember. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, okay.
It was a long time ago. But
Hey John, ask her if she on any dating apps.
something about knowing your people knowing you. He was madly in love with you. I don't think marriage is the answer.
What do you mean by that?
I don't think that's the only answer. I think that I can live my life. I think that I can do the things that I want to do without being married and still be accomplished and successful.
Do you have
Somebody's looking for Rock Shoot. Who's that?
He's just a chat guy. Hey, do you have any children?
Children?
Yeah.
No, I don't have any children.
My co-host wants to know, what do you think is the drop dead date?
What do I think is what?
What do you think is the drop dead date, excluding health? Right. So a woman is healthy. There's no problem. What is the last date you think would be acceptable for her to get an abortion?
Oh,
Like 3 weeks, 3 months, 6
I'm
months?
not a doctor. I don't
But,
know.
you know,
Yeah, but I don't,
So
I don't
what do you
know
think?
what's safe. But every pregnant woman looks different.
Okay. Like, so,
And I've never
but, you know, in 9 months, they all about look the same. In 9 months, they all about look the same.
No, they don't look the same.
Okay. Do you think it'll be okay to have an abortion in 9 months? How much are you paying rent out there in Rockville? People want to know, like, what's it? 1,900? Damn. And damn, this in Rockville? You must have a house.
Pretty good. You're supposed to.
You have a house?
I do not have a house.
What do you have in Rockville?
Apartment.
Get the fuck. You must be 3 bedroom, 2 bedroom. Well, what do you got for? Y'all, please don't tell me you got 1 bedroom in Rockville. Because if you do, I'm going to. I'm the urban landlord. Not in for 1 bedroom. Let me get my computer turned around and raise my prices right now.
Yeah, I'm way past 19.
1,900 for 1 bedroom.
Yeah.
What's your salary like?
What's my salary?
Well, you know, people want to know, like, you
Who
know,
wants to know? Yeah.
like most people
I
don't.
didn't see that question in the chat.
No, I got my guy AC in my ear.
Oh, in your ear.
Yeah, so most people aren't from DC, and they're really curious, like, how the hell you pay $1,900 a month in rent?
Rockville.
Rockville,
Somebody
1,900.
said that's cheap for Rockville.
That's cheap.
My 2 mortgages aren't even 1,900. Oh, damn.
I'm not turning the computer around. Yeah. So how do you pay 1,900? What?
By the grace of God, I paid 1,900. It wasn't like that when I first moved. It was like I was paying like $1,650.
$1,650.
And then moved up.
2 years ago when you first moved in.
And now I'm at
1,900.
I'm not hitting it yet, but it's very close.
You're like 1,850, something like that.
1,880.
1,880
Yeah.
for 1 bedroom.
And that's not including my other bills.
So do you pay utilities there?
That's like parking and utilities, some utilities. But then you
You have to pay some utilities.
You got your electric, you got your Wi-Fi. I'm well over that.
You're well over 2,000 in
I'm probably yeah.
Damn, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Damn, that's amazing. Wow.
So, close to okay, 100,000.
You making this? Did somebody ask you your salary? So you're close to 100,000. Okay.
So she doesn't even make 100,000.
Okay. That's pretty good. That's pretty. How old are you, by the way?
I am 29.
Damn, this is the salary for a 29-year-old young lady.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's very good. You're doing very well for yourself.
It don't feel like enough.
It never does. It never does, right?
Like that's a shame.
It never does, right?
I'm making. I feel like decent money, and it still don't feel like enough.
Have you ever thought about getting a roommate?
I don't want a roommate.
Why not?
Why would I?
Like, we got one more lady lined up. She ready She ready to hop on set Emerson.
No pets, no children, no man.
And when was the last time you had a man, by the way?
Like 2 years ago.
2 years ago?
Why would I want a man?
You tell us. Why would you want a man?
Why do y'all want a man? Tell me. Please convince me to get one.
I say, please convince you to get a man. They want you to have a man.
My parents don't help me.
No, your parents don't help you?
I try. No, I do need them to help me, but they don't. Why
John, before she leaves, have her leave her Instagram or whatever she wants to.
Hey, they want to know if you got social media, anything. You want to leave your Instagram? You want to pump your Instagram?
Oh, she said she loved having a man. You might have a good man. They're not all good.
You want to pump your social media, anything?
Jasmine Pearl.
Jasmine Pearl, what is it? Instagram?
It's my Instagram.
Okay, Jasmine Pearl.
Jasmine with E at the end.
Jasmine with an E at the end. They want to know what.
Portia said having a man is a good thing.
My co-host want to know: are you into the women too? You ever been in the women? Hey, have you ever been in the women?
Okay, thank you. That's it.
Have you ever been into women?
Women, I love women.
Have you ever been with a woman before?
Not romantically, no.
Rockville over here laughing. You wish you were with a woman? Why?
I feel like my dating life would be a little bit more interesting if I dated women.
In what way?
I have this strong connection to foundational Black African American men. However, they do not have the strong connection to me.
Who do you think they have the connection to?
They have a strong connection to an ideal.
What you mean?
They want somebody who is quote unquote, they want somebody like their grandmother. Let's be real.
Grandmother foundational, ain't she?
Yeah, she may be a foundational, but she was a foundational without rights. I'm not one who without rights.
Oh, you got your voice. You got your voice. You know,
I'm the one who the grandmother told me what my rights were.
You like what they call that shit? Harris, what they say?
No.
So do you think that
Harris
that you're like
Harry told me?
Would you define yourself as an independent woman?
I wouldn't even want to say independent. I'm forced to be independent. I don't want to be. I don't want to be.
What do you mean you don't want to be?
I don't want to be.
You want to live off a nigga?
No, fuck a living off a nigga. No, it's not. It's not living off of. It's
let her. Before I get you, I'm gonna ask you this question to yourself. Why do we not ask? And this is like, I'm not trying to come for you when I'm about to ask this question. But like, why is it? But because I've had this personal conversation.
We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about
it. Because I personally, give me a second. Because I personally had this conversation with a friend of mine that like is very much like she would identify herself as like a very mass presenting person who like is traditional in the sense of like she doesn't want her wife specifically to work and shit. So like when it comes to shit like that, why is it that we don't hold space to like allow specifically Black women and people of color to live in a life where they can be treated and down upon by a man compared to like white women and women who are not Black?
And see,
go ahead. Because I think it's crazy that we can sit here and we question Black women and people of color who want to like live the soft life, they say. Mm-hmm. But like when it comes to white women specifically, we don't ever question that.
Hey, what's up? How you doing? Yeah.
Oh, she said she can't help. She said she just paid for a car to get fixed.
That's you Blacks. Blacks can get offended by me calling you Blacks, whatever. Wait a minute, hold on. Listen, gotta make some money. Like, share, subscribe. I gotta make some money. Like, is it band big? I ain't begging. I'm making. Oh, listen. You wanna make some content? I'll make this Black big for me. You wanna give this Black a discount? We can do it right here. I'm about to call up. Someone just text me. We can get White Nisha a discount. She done fuck for free. Why don't we get White Nisha a discount? You know what? Wait a minute, look at that. Listen, I called this motherfucker and hung up. Listen, I called this person and hung up. They called me right back because they need that dope. Ain't a man get a dope like that. That's what I'm saying. Let's hold on. Hello? Hello?
Yes, hello.
Yeah. Hello. You calling about the room for rent?
I did.
Yes. We have several rooms available. What are you looking for?
Just room for myself.
Okay. You looking southeast or northwest? What's your price range? I guess I should ask you. It's probably better.
What's the price difference?
You know, it's considerable. Northeast versus southeast. But you know, I tell you what, the rooms we have we have some nice rooms in southeast right now. Actually, we have a basement. When are you looking to move?
At the end of the month.
That's day after tomorrow.
Yes.
No, that's fine. That's fine. We have. What's your budget? Let me ask you this. We don't do credit check. Okay. All right. And so it's all about feel. You know what I mean? It's all about feel, right? So this is your credit check. You got it? This is the credit check right here. This is the credit check.
I understand. So right now, I pay half the rent here with my son. Unfortunately, my son, because I stay here with my son and his family, they haven't been paying the rent, so they're getting ready to get put out. So I pay. So the rent here is $13.79. I pay half of that.
Okay. And are you working?
Yes, I do work.
And where are you working?
In Pentagon City.
Cool. Where what's your?
Southeast will be closer.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Southeast would be closer. Southeast would be closer, but you are a woman. You are a woman, and you know a lot of women have qualms about living in Southeast. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know, but that don't bother me.
That don't bother you. All right. So now we're getting somewhere.
That don't bother me.
Now we're getting somewhere, right? Now we're getting somewhere. See, this is the credit check. See, because I can't put you somewhere where you know it's either too far from your job, or you're gonna be in a house where people smoking reefer and shit like that. So this is why I say it's very informal. So this is your credit check. All right. So if you don't mind me asking, how old are you? And the reason why I'm asking you because I can't detect how old you are. Right?
Yes, 54.
Hold on for 1 second. I lost my damn phone. I dropped my damn phone. Hold on for 1 second. Hold on. Shit. Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, say that one more time. You're 54? Is it? You say you're 54? Hello?
Yes, I'm 54.
Okay, all right. And so 54. All right. We have how much money are you making? If you don't mind me asking, because we have we got a private bathroom, a listing with a private bath in Southeast. But you know, it ain't cheap. You know what I mean? So, you know, it'd probably be good for you. It'd probably be good for you if you could afford it.
How much is it? Is it a weekly rate or is it a monthly?
We do weekly, bi-weekly, or bi-monthly. We don't do monthly though.
Okay. So for me, it would be I can pay every 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks, I bring home about $500. Because I'm only working part time right now, so.
That was my that was more or less a bunch of calls and videos that we received over the last couple of years, and it all kind of came together like the black women's plight. They're stealing from each other. The son stole the rent from their mother. Dating problems, so on and so forth. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I'll leave you with this right here. I was hoping Be Brave would have come up on this channel. he would have found this oh so interesting. And here we are. This is for B. Brady. This is this morning I was out. What was I doing? Out. I had done my cleaning, so it's about 5 o'clock. So in the morning, you can see it's still dark. And take a look.
Yeah. What's up? What y'all doing out here this late at night? Huh?
Grown-ass woman just the same way you're outside.
How you doing?
I'm finding you some cigarette.
Nah, I ain't got no cigarette.
Can we have some change?
Shit, I ain't got no change. You see?
Brave, well, Brave, if you're watching, look at that bike on the ground. Let me drop the link for Brave. Brave, if you're watching, and you asked me to do it, so I got it for you, Brave. I got it for you, Brave. I found one. Listen to this, Brave.
Huh?
What you outside for?
Shit, I'm working.
Really?
Hell yeah.
Okay, have a blessed one.
I clean up and shit. Who threw that bike on the ground? Why you throw it on the ground?
Because it was flammable from my way. Can you get that light out of my face?
Huh? Oh, I'm sorry, shit. All right.
Have a blessed night.
All right, y'all take it easy. Yeah.
And Brave, you always wondering, like, why do they throw it down? And so now you you got an answer, a partial answer, Brave, but I hope that suffices, Brave. I hope that suffices. Guys, I hope you have enjoyed the show. Yeah, those were prostitutes, by the way. There's a prostitute pickup spot right there. If you didn't know this, they're always there, by the way. So, anyway. Guys, if you enjoyed the show, put a 1 in the chat, something, let me know. Make sure you hit the like, share, subscribe, whatever. This is on the Urban Landlord Clips and the Urban Landlord. So if you haven't subscribed to the Urban Landlord, that's a good time to do that. I need to make it a practice to do like the first hour or so on the main channel and go over to the Clips channel. So it's not to put the channel at risk. Otherwise, I have to make everything private and clip it up for you guys. Anyway, any questions, any comments I should read? I dropped the link one more time for Brave. Surprise Brave didn't come in today. It was interesting hearing JP's point of view. Because again, we're in the same ecosystem. And instead of us being, kind of a mutually beneficial to each other, you have one side looking to tear down the other side solely because of me being black. That's, I guess, what people call the crabs in the barrel. That's very devastating to any community if the people in the community who most need your help are willing to tear you down more so than they would tear anyone else down. Hell, the fact that they're willing to tear people down is one thing, but the fact that they're going to go gangbusters on destroying your property, man, that was an eye-opener. And I really wonder how the blacks, I guess the blacks would probably try to overlook it, but they have to recognize, at least the half-wits, the ones with a little bit of intelligence, have to recognize that if there are JPs in every city or town, it doesn't take many of them to really bring things down. So anyway, that's interesting. Yes, someone says night is just live. Yeah, this is usually his time of the morning. But guys, thank you for joining. I am the Urban Landlord. Oh, you know what? Let me show you this. For those that didn't join, but that were here the other day when the guy shut me down for $225. Let me put this on Twitter. You won't believe this. I can pause it. Yeah, change. Yeah. Oh, I think we just converted one. What is this right here? Okay. All right, that's perfect. And let me call this guy. Let me call him Bluetooth. Put the Bluetooth on. Roadcaster Duo. I feel like talking to him. Let's see. Oh no, not yet. We gotta see. A couple days. You know, I gotta man. Listen, let me tell you. Damn.
Morning, John.
Hey, what's up, man? How's it going?
John, what call this? May I know how many tenants do you have at our place?
I don't know. What, 3 or 4?
Yeah, because this morning, I saw Johan and her girlfriend left.
Who is
But
Who is Joe? Oh, the other dude that lived there?
yeah, and then I saw them around 6 a.m. But I took a shower at 6:30. Do they have air conditioning?
Yeah, you can't live here without it.
Yeah, I think they left it open because they left at 6 o'clock, and I was like, maybe that.
They left the AC on. Oh, I'm glad. Thank you for telling me because I'll let them know because you know.
Because you mentioned that there will be an increase. I think it's them who use a lot of power.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to them too. I mean, like their power is high all over the city. Yeah, you know, they're just upfront costs that they increase all over the city. You can read about it in the news and everything. Yeah.
So I just want to ask if there is a discount, maybe $5 a week, because it's a lot for me already, and I have a small room, and then I clean the toilet every time I use. I provide the cleaning stuff there, but they don't clean them after themselves. It's always me.
All right, we go with $5.
$5, okay. I'll pay tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
It's the way it's supposed to be done. Blacks, you should learn from that. And he's talking about the other blacks that don't clean up, and he cleans up. As Filipino, living in the ghetto, doing it the right way. The blacks are going to have to learn, or no one's going to accept them. Otherwise, it's the way it's going to work. It's not going to work any other way but that. Am I supposed to call someone? Oh, maybe I get brave a call. What was it? I was about to call someone. I was about to call. Damn. I forget who I was about to call here. Let me call Brady. I guess as a reminder too, for the other people that say I don't kick out white people, for the blacks to say, well,
I'm sorry, the person you are trying to reach has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet.
Okay, Brady was busy. All right, for the people that say I don't put out white people, well, here's one for you. This lady had breast cancer. Right here, she squatted for, I don't know, maybe 2 months on it. I had to get around to getting her out. I was so busy, we rented so many rooms, and you know, it took me a minute to get around to getting her out, which to her favor. But here with another episode of Squatter Hunters. John called the Squatter Hunter. This is a white lady. She was squatting. She had a couple pets, as you can see. Here's your dog food tail here. She also had breast cancer. How do I get rid of the squatters? Let me show you. That's a nice faucet, by the way. You gotta tip your head. It is a nice faucet right there. Amen there. Yeah, we go back around here. You can see some of the dog food on the floor. Dog food on the floor. Generally, she kept the place pretty decent. I will say nothing's pretty much messed up here, except for my lovely lamp. I hate she messed up my little lovely lamp right here. I think it's salvageable. I think it's, as you can see, you know what is so interesting. I never understood about these squatters. Why do they always break my toilet? See this, my toilet right there. And you know, again, nothing. Again, another episode of Squatter Hunters. And that's me evicting a lady had breast cancer. Of all things, go figure. Anyway, I am John Galt, the urban landlord. Thank you for joining. Make sure you hit the like, share, and subscribe. This nigga has a motherfucker, by the way. Let me go fast forward. I am the nigga John Galt. This high ass nigga.
They don't dance no more. It's all about the lean. Back in the day, crack was jumping on the scene. Now they slumped on the sidewalk. Can't talk. Golden era faded, but we still feel the rock. They used to be kings, now they lost in the scheme. Popping them bottles, throwing money, living free. Now they zoned out and mumbling, fumbling. No rhythm in the city, the whole shit crumbling. They used to rock the house, they was riding through the streets. Remember there was dancing, sliding to the beat. Now it's poison in their veins, ain't no pulse on the street. Guess it's over now, they accepted the back in the day, the rock had them wild and free. Different story now, they got no energy. The new drugs got them slow with the head unload. Eyes closed and they don't dance no more. Block used to be jumping, top shit they was on. Now it's lights out, guess the thrill is gone.
I am the nigga John Galt. I bring you your rough, rugged, and raw, nigga.
They don't dance no more, it's all about the codeine. Back in the day, they was rocking on the scene. Crack out of pop, even dancing in the rain. Now they nodding off, shit just don't hit the same.
I am the nigga John Galt.